E.T. phone home.
I'm just having some brewski beers in my Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Wendy, I'm home.
There is no place like home.
I'm home!
Hello and welcome to the House of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Joe Aragon. With me today, as always, Claira Curtis and Sydney Volpe. And in the house today, a discussion on Supergirl, the latest in the DCU, right? That's what we're calling it now?
Yes.
Before it was the DCEU.
And now we're the DCU. James Gunn's DC universe is the latest entry this movie is a part of. Before we jump into any of that, your reminder, this episode will contain spoilers for the movie Supergirl. Not a lot to spoil, if we're being completely honest. There is no post-credit scene, which is fascinating.
No.
Yeah, and you know what? There's nothing more humiliating than sitting through the credits of a superhero movie and there just being nothing at the end, and you all just have to stand up and leave quietly.
That's a
but
good
we're all in
point.
it together.
That's a good point. You know, funny enough, this movie came out the same day as Jackass Best and Last, which I don't think it punished you for staying to the very end post-credit scene, but it is kind of like, haha, you stayed for nothing.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of that one, but it is a moment where I'm like, oh, I think they're playing a trick on us right now.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Kind of worth it for the joke.
Yes.
Well, as someone who isn't like a huge fan of Jackass, I was like, oh, is this like an inside joke?
No. I mean, fortunately for a Jackass, like the credits themselves are worth watching because they're showing archival footage.
Exactly.
And so it's not too much of a pain to sit through it. But that was a funny moment. Anyway, Supergirl, we're talking a lot about that today. Obviously, the latest in discourse on the internet. It's thriving right now. We'll do our best to have a very intelligent conversation about what works, what doesn't work, and kind of our thoughts on the DC universe going forward. Before any of that, though, Sid, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I feel like I'm just like in the ether right now. I'm in Boston, so it's been crazy with the World Cup happening here. I'm balancing soccer and movies right now. Or football. People are going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
It is, there are actually games here. So when I was in Chicago, like you could feel the vibes, but it's not like people are flying in from overseas to Chicago. But in Boston, there are apparently 50,000 people who flew in from Scotland because their team was playing here, which it's just been like insanity. I don't think I've ever felt the city like more alive, which is
you should
really
start
cool.
telling them about the House of Cinema podcast. They might.
I
they
should.
might like
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
You guys like
They would
football?
love
How do
it.
you feel
I did
about
make some Norwegian
soccer?
fans at the bar
Oh.
this weekend, and one of them followed me and said, "Oh, cool page. I should be like,
There you
oh,
go.
I have a podcast. You
A
know,
little promo. Very cool.
You've become Mr. Worldwide." But I've been also going to the movies. I saw Jackass. Still watching House of the Dragon. Yeah.
yeah?
Am I the
And?
only one?
Yeah, I didn't
You are
touch Tati.
absolutely the only one of us.
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't love the season premiere, which honestly, people liked it more than I thought. Like I felt kind of like the odd man out on that, but we'll see where the rest of this season goes.
Okay.
And I don't know, just watching stuff here and there. I watched Andrei Rublev. I don't even know why. Oh, you know why I watched it is because
Why?
Christopher Nolan said Andrei Rublev and Kurosawa's Ron were like visual inspirations for the Odyssey.
for the
So I was like,
Odyssey.
why not just watch
Yeah,
it?
we're doing Odyssey prep is happening.
It's happening.
Odyssey's in like 2.5 weeks or so is when we get the Odyssey. And so I know a lot of people are prepping either by watching inspiration like Andrei Rublev or Ren or watching Nolan himself. We on the podcast will be doing some
A
prep,
little of both.
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think we're planning to watch Jason and the Argonauts, which is often cited as like a very famous mythological, one of the more famous mythological movies out there.
Yeah.
Very innovative and influential. So we're watching that. Are we covering Inception?
Yeah.
We are doing Inception.
We're covering Inception, man.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that movie. That movie was also recently mentioned in the Big Picture podcast. Sean Fennessy said it was a 6 out of 10 film. And
Ooh.
he was alone in that thought, by the way. People were like, excuse me? Oh, you agree with that?
He might not be as
Oh,
alone as you
no.
think he is.
Oh, it's not a 6 out of 10 movie. Come
No,
on
I would
now.
do a little higher than a 6 out of 10,
Yeah.
but it's not like a top Nolan for me.
Interesting.
We'll save the conversation for a second.
Yeah, I haven't
No, now
seen
everyone
it
won't listen
since-
because I said that.
Listen, it's good to have. This is actually a great segue back to Supergirl. It is
Okay.
important to have diversified opinions when it comes to film. All right, it's
That's so
important
true.
that when we have conversations about these movies, look, if you want us to just glaze movies every single time we talk about that, I'm sorry, it's not this podcast. It's not going to happen.
No.
We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is how it goes. You know, it's just how the river flows.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a saying. I'm just saying it right now.
I feel like that's a. It's
could
in
be
a
a thing.
song,
how
maybe.
the river flows.
How
I
the
think
river
is-
flows.
Yeah.
I will go
And we
back
respect
really
your
quickly.
opinion,
Yeah, we respect all
you
opinions.
listening,
Yeah.
unless they're
course.
rooted in prejudice.
And
But
bigotry.
generally, yes.
And unfortunately for this movie, a lot of it is. And so those
Yes.
opinions we don't respect. However, if you are able to have substantial or substantiated discussions and criticisms, that's what makes these conversations fun. Anyways, that's another disclaimer that
Okay.
I wish I didn't have to say. And I don't think any of our listeners specifically, like our listeners understand that you can respect the movie but also criticize it. Nothing is, void of criticism. We can have criticism for almost anything. But, for the newbies who maybe show up for the first time, hey, welcome. Love that you're here. We will point out things we don't like. I'm sorry. But you should be secure enough in your opinions. If you love the movie, happy you love Supergirl.
Yeah.
Our opinions shouldn't make you feel bad about that at all, nor do we
Yeah.
want to make you feel bad.
No.
Well said.
Okay. That didn't mean to go on that
Yeah,
diatribe.
that's
I
okay.
apologize. I wanted to go back really quickly. I know this episode's not on Jackass.
But can we talk about
But
Jackass
just
a
very
little
quickly,
bit?
maybe we can
Oh.
mention it very quickly because we
Yeah.
all saw it. It means different things to all of us. I really wanted to just get your quick 2 cents, Sid, because what Jackass movies had you seen before Best and Last?
I have no idea. Like, I feel like Jackass is such a part of like American teenager culture. Like, it's like a rite of passage to like watch Jackass with your friends. So I don't have any recollection. I know I've seen Jackass 3D. That was the one that came out when I was like that age,
Yeah.
and everyone was like talking about Jackass. And I've seen at least bits and pieces here and there, clips on Twitter, maybe 1 or 2 in full. Couldn't tell you which one. So I'm generally just not like a diehard Jackass fan. But every time I watch them, it's like a blast.
Well, I asked because Best and Last, so much of it is like archival footage, or not even archival footage sometimes. It's just like, hey, we took the prank from 2 and put it back in this movie as kind of like a highlight reel of the pranks from our history. And as someone like myself who's very tenured in the franchise, who's seen every movie at least 10 times, and I usually can point, okay, that's from this movie, that's from this movie. I don't say it didn't bother me, but I'm not like cackling in my seat seeing a prank I've seen 4 or 5 times already, you know?
Right.
But I'm wondering if that was like a different case for you because you like it's a little bit more fresh, a little bit new to you. If like the archival stuff still was funny to you.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a bit more of that sense of discovering all these different bits for me. Like, some of them I did recognize from having seen before, but yeah, definitely not as much as people who have seen more and are more familiar with them. So yeah, I've heard a lot of the feedback is like people aren't. I would think maybe it was nice to sort of relive that as a fan of the franchise, but I've actually seen the opposite more, that people are like, I didn't really love that this was so much, there was so much archival footage in here.
How did you feel about it, Clara?
A little of both. Like, I mean, yeah, I grew up with Jackass as well. Although less, like, it was more of like I'm sneaking around
Yeah.
watching Jackass.
I shouldn't be
Okay.
watching this, but I'm going to watch it anyways,
exactly.
yeah.
So it was the same thing as like South Park, where like I'm watching this stuff like as religiously as one can when you're not supposed to be watching it.
Yeah.
So it does feel like in a way I've like grown up with it in my life very consistently, which is cool, but it's been a little more passive. I was torn because like there is the emotional feel of them bringing back in all the archive stunts, and they're like, look at this, like remember that, and it's like I sure do.
I sure remember that
I sure
toy in that
remember
guy's
that.
ass. I sure do.
Yeah, and like I think that works to an extent, especially in the moments where they are acknowledging again, like, this is the last of these, like we can't make anymore. But I think the problem is they're not fully leaning into that angle necessarily, and I
Yeah.
think that ruins what they were maybe trying to go for by bringing in all the archive stuff.
Interesting. I'm just curious, mostly because the crowd I was with clearly having a good time, from
Oh,
what I
for
could
sure.
tell.
Yeah.
But there were people who were laughing at certain skits that I had seen 100 times. that they were laughing like they saw it for the first time. And that was cool. Like, I mean, they're clearly there having a good time. They're seeing a toy in Ryan Dunn's rectum for the first time. They're fucking laughing their head off. I
Yeah.
still laugh at it a lot too.
I mean, yeah, that one's a good one.
Or the air horns at the golf course, which is a classic one, and they're laughing really hard. I'm like still chuckling here and there, but I've seen it a couple of times.
yeah.
So I understand the criticism. I know some people like really wanted to go in, but like I want to see all new stuff for the first time. I think I kind of knew going into it, these guys are in their 50s now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's only so much they can do. I thought the new bits really worked though.
I like them a lot. Yeah.
I laughed at almost every single one, like a lot.
Yeah.
Some of them were very gross.
Yeah.
I had a great time watching though, and it did make me very emotional.
Me too,
in that,
yeah.
like,
Yeah. It made me
there's, like, this
emotional too.
acknowledgement Of
Yeah.
a era that's long gone now.
Yeah.
It's kind of time to move on. Oh, that was Jackass.
Yay, Jackass.
Very quick 2 cents on that. Supergirl time. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Well, Claire, how
Well,
are
you
you
guys,
doing?
yeah, you guys didn't really say what you've been up to.
I asked how she was doing. How are you
We're
doing?
just really worried about today.
Well, we want to make sure, how Jackass went for you.
Yeah, that's true. Good overall. I've been hanging out, watching stuff. I saw One from the Heart in theaters for the
Oh,
first
the Coppola.
time.
Yeah.
The Coppola at the Arrow. Unreal.
Yeah.
Cool movie.
Cool.
Really like that. I watched Pretty Woman for the first time.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I really
Now
liked
you know
it.
the,
so
the
good.
very classic monologue, or what did she say?
Big
Big
mistake.
mistake.
Big
Huge.
mistake.
Yeah.
Wow, Julia Roberts. I watched Tu Wong Fu. Thanks
That's
for
the
everything.
review. Wow, Julia Roberts.
Wow, I mean that really is kind of what I said. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm watching a Julia Roberts movie. And then I watched Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julia Newmar. Which have you guys watched that?
No.
It's like the Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze drag movie.
No.
Really,
That sounds
really
awesome.
sweet, very
Cool.
cozy, very funny movie. So I watched
Okay.
that. Watched Jackass. I saw The Invite.
Oh yeah.
It's out in LA.
It's out in LA and New York right
Yeah,
So we're
good
watching
for
it.
you guys, LA elites.
now. July 10th, wide release, by the way.
Yeah, and all I will say is you should go see it right away.
That's a
Dude,
insanely good movie.
I can't remember the last time there was such unanimous praise, like and this extreme amount of praise for
It
a
feels
movie.
like a very rare movie that we don't get in that
Yeah.
like it's a adult comedy. Also a drama and a tad bit of romance as well.
Well, how does it compare to something like Splitsville?
Splitsville. That I was about to bring up Splitsville. I was like, we had that last year, and that was a lot of
Good
fun.
comparison.
I think it's an appropriate comparison. I think Splitsville is leaning into more of the like full body slapstick kind of
Yeah.
humor, whereas this is much more. The humor's in the writing.
Yeah.
but I think that's a very appropriate comparison for
Very
sure.
good comparison.
Yeah.
Tonally, what they're going for. Clara's right in that so much of the humor is just Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde going at it for 90 minutes, and then Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz show up and they add another layer to it, and it's equally as amazing. It's crazy how they just maintain this momentum for 90 minutes, and then it ends and it's
Cool.
like, whoa.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a knockout. Like it's
Good
really
movie.
good. Yeah, so I watched that. I'm just hanging out. I'm replaying Lego Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been playing Lego Batman, and that's fun, but it's not Lego Harry Potter.
Okay, so you got to revisit an oldie.
Yeah, so I'm doing that. Just doing a bunch of work, hanging out with the cat, chilling.
There you go.
Vibes. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Doing well, just hanging out like you guys. Saw Jackass, saw The Invite, saw Supergirl. There was one that I didn't like more than the others, which we'll talk about in about 10 minutes, less than that. And that's about it. I feel like I've been watching things here and there. We have a big month of July ahead of us. So
Yeah.
And a June recap we'll be doing.
We'll do a June recap.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
I watched Clash of Titans, the old one.
Yeah, I
the,
saw
the
that.
80s version, because it's similar to Jason the Argonauts in terms of its animation style.
Are you going to watch the 2010 one?
I saw the 2010 one with Sam Worthington when it came out in theaters with friends, and I was like, I walked out, and it was one of those movies I saw where I knew it wasn't very good, but I pretended like it was.
Oh, because your friends all liked it?
No, they didn't like it very much.
Oh,
Either.
so you were being a contrarian.
I was being a contrarian. I was like, yeah, that was awesome, guys.
Clash
Sam
of the
Worthington
Titans is
stan.
awesome.
Yeah, like, that was actually really good, like really cool movie. It was so fun. Oh, now I understand why people yell at me and say you're no fun, because I was pretending like it was fun. Now that I've seen it again since then, like 3 or 4 years ago, I saw it on TV on just like passing by on a hotel, probably. It's not very good.
No.
There's a cool, like Liam Neeson's cool when he goes, "Release the Kraken."
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's about it. So anyways, watching some stuff for the Odyssey. The Odyssey is going to be a big deal, obviously.
Yeah.
So just kind of like
Huge
ensuring all my
deal.
homework is done.
You saw the big horse.
I saw the big horse.
You did see the big horse.
The big horse. I saw the big horse over at Universal. If you're in LA and you go to Universal City Walk, the horse, I don't know if it's the horse.
The titular horse.
But there's a horse outside the AMC out there. It's a very big horse.
it's
too.
huge.
I saw Minions and Monsters, which I liked. The Minions guys are cool. They're cool guys.
They're my best friends.
You know, not to spoil a conversation I had with the director, Pierre. I can't remember his last name, so I'm just going to call him Pierre.
Okay.
But we had this conversation, and I started off by saying, like, these guys are like, incredibly popular. And I was like, I didn't know. I had told him, I had to Google, like, why did these guys become so popular? How did these guys become so popular? When did this happen? And he was like, you're forgetting all the people that hate Minions, though. And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, Pierre. I was one of those people. When I first saw Despicable Me, I was like, these guys are fine. I don't know how much I like them. But over the years, they've grown on me. And that's been a similar experience for a lot of people.
That's me.
It's for a lot of us. Like, they're now like very precious to us.
Yeah.
And so we had a really good conversation about like how that happened. And anyways, I guess I'll find a way to post it somehow.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
That was I saw Minions and Monsters, and that's about it.
Nice.
Cool.
Playing video games, playing Mouse PI for Hire. You guys ever heard that game?
Wait, yeah, how
Mouse
is that?
PI.
It's like a 50s or not 50s,
Yeah.
like a 20s noir video game.
Yeah.
But everyone's mice.
They're mice.
That's fun.
It's really cool.
It's a really cool game. It's like,
Yeah.
animated really well. Having a fun time. The gameplay is fine, but like the immersion is really fun. Right? So anyways, playing that.
Sick.
And that's about it. All right, Supergirl time. Maybe we can
For
mark
real
the chapter.
life.
Boom. 18
Okay.
minutes in.
It's
It's
time.
Supergirl time, guys. All right.
Let's do it.
Sid, Supergirl relationship to you. How much did you know about Supergirl? How much do you know about DC in general? What's the story there?
Supergirl specifically, not a lot, to be honest. Like I've never seen the show that is pretty popular. I know there's been movies, but not super familiar with the character. That's why I decided to read the comic series Woman of Tomorrow before the movie came out, and that was sort of my
mistake.
a big, huge. I know, and I keep saying that, but I'm also like, I really did like discovering the story through the comic.
Yeah,
blind. It just so happens that made the movie seem worse by comparison as well. But yeah, that was kind of my introduction to Supergirl as a character and like what her morals are and what her traumas are, and it was really fun to discover. So this is all, a lot of it is very new to me. What about you guys?
Similar. Like, I haven't seen the movie from the 80s. Have you guys?
No, I've not seen it.
Neither. Okay. I'm like morbidly curious because I know it's not regarded
Highly.
positively.
Okay.
Yeah. But I am curious if after watching this Supergirl, if I would like that Supergirl girl maybe a little bit more. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I didn't read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow until after I watched this.
Oh.
But I was familiar with the basis of the comic run just because I feel like ever since that came out in, I think it was 2021, it's been, highly praised and talked a lot about in online spaces that I'm kind of like on the outskirts of. So I was familiar with the general gist of what's going on in Women of Tomorrow before I watched this movie. But I read the comic all the way through properly after watching just because I was trying to preserve some sort of like benefit of the doubt.
I almost thought of doing that, not
really?
reading it and then watching the movie.
Okay, but you did end up reading it
Yeah,
before.
unfortunately.
Okay. Big mistake for you too.
Well, it's exactly what Sid said. Like, and what you're saying as well, in that like I was aware that Woman of Tomorrow is highly regarded as like this incredible story. The artwork is fantastic, and I was like, I had a copy laying in my library, a bookcase, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just read it real quick. It takes like a couple hours at most if you just sit down and knock it out. And I adored it, loved it, which got me excited for the movie because I know the movie is not saying, hey, this is a 1-to-1 adaptation, but they made it very clear this is based on the Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, can we clear that up? Because I made a video comparing the comic and the film, and everyone's like, it's not an adaptation. And I'm like,
Well, it is.
It is though.
yeah, I feel like we need to just like say that. Like, this is an adaptation. It was announced as an adaptation. Adaptations, calling something an adaptation does not imply that it is or needs to be a direct one-to-one
Correct.
adaptation of what's happening in the story. But they have talked, I mean, all the interviews are centering around oh, how did you adapt this story for the silver screen? And so yeah, this is an adaptation. It doesn't mean that they have to adapt it directly for it to be good, but
Right.
they were drawing from it very directly.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll add too. I read Rolling Stone did an interview with the screenwriter Anna Noguera, and she said when she was approached about pitching to write the screenplay, they said we're doing Woman of Tomorrow. So that was like the baseline of what
you watch
her
almost
pitch
any
was.
interview and ask Millie. They ask Millie Alcock, "Hey, how do you prepare for this role?" And one of her first answers is typically, "I read Woman of Tomorrow several times."
Yeah.
To nail down the character.
Yeah.
Like this is an adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow. And like Sid said, adaptations don't imply that it needs to be one-to-one. We adapt every story beat, every plot beat, and every character moment. But this is an adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not. Unfortunately,
And that's relevant.
Yeah.
It is
that
re-
is very
it's
relevant to
very
the conversation
relevant.
that we will be having.
Yeah.
So, anyone watch the CW show by chance?
Oh no, but I've never really watched any of the CW superhero run, which is like kind of extensive actually. They have quite a few shows under their umbrella.
I dabbled in the Flash for a time.
Okay, how'd that go?
I remember thinking it was like fun, but I didn't stick with it very long.
Okay. I haven't seen any of them.
Okay.
Green Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl. I watched Smallville
Yeah, I loved Smallville.
back when I was
Right.
a kid.
So that was a
Smallville
different
was
thing.
big.
Superman and Lois, is that CW?
Yes, it
I heard
was.
that's really great.
I've heard
What
that's
about
great.
that Titans show that they did?
That was
That
CW,
was one.
I
Okay.
think, or HBO Max or something. I don't.
Not HBO Max.
I don't.
It was cable.
I don't
Was
remember,
it?
but
Okay.
apparently it was not very good.
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched or dabbled in any of that. The only thing I've seen are like the videos of behind the scenes of like a Supergirl and Flash meetup, and it's someone filming them behind the scenes, so there's no CGI, and so it's like, all right, like let's defeat this enemy, and the Flash is like, it's just like really awkward grunts.
I feel like
and
I've seen a
noises.
lot of memes from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
That's
don't know much
awesome.
about it. I know some people are like knee deep into the CW verse and
Yeah.
they love it, and that's great. But I don't know much about Supergirl. I think people like it though. I think it had a decent run.
Okay.
From what
Okay.
I remember.
Okay.
Overall, though, my Supergirl knowledge minimal. My knowledge on DC in general pretty minimal. If I'm being honest with you guys, like I know some of the Batman stuff. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
the Batman stuff I know.
But other than that, like I don't know much about Superman. I don't know much about Aquaman or any of those other guys. Justice League. I don't know. I was never a big DC guy growing up, and so my knowledge there limited. Same for you guys.
I would say that's appropriate overall. The one exception is like I loved the animated Teen Titans show on Cartoon
Yeah.
Network growing up. That was
Yeah.
like one of my favorite shows. So I was watching that religiously. But that in a way like felt so removed from the wider DC world.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of exclusively just Batman is my guy.
Yeah, I'm the
Sid?
same. I always like loved Superman as a hero, but in terms of like the media out there about him, like Batman definitely, I feel like for most people, Batman is the one that they've had the most exposure to. Like I did a video years ago where I watched like 14 Batman movies, and that includes like the animated stuff, which a lot of it is like really good.
Very good.
The animated show, a lot of people have seen. So yeah, but we talked Superman. Like I know we both watched the Donner film, at least one of them, to prepare for
For
James
last year.
Gunn's
Yeah,
Superman
I watched
the
last
first
year.
one.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of Superman stuff last year.
Yeah, it's always fun to kind of dive into what's been out there because there's just so much. Like they've just adapted these things like out the wazoo, so it's fun to explore.
Yeah.
Overall, what were the expectations here for Supergirl? Before I ask you what you think of the movie, but leading up to this moment, I know all of us were a bit wary, not in the sense of like quality wise, maybe a little bit quality wise, but we were noticing the financial trends looking pretty bleak going into this. It wasn't, the pre-sales weren't up there. There was a lot of concern about if people's were caring, if there's going to be an attention there. What was your mindset at before going into the movie, Sid?
I mean, I have to say I feel a little bit vindicated because I feel like I have been the one who is most strongly saying, like, I feel like this movie's gonna suck. And I feel like it's just because, I mean, after the trailers came out, yeah, it didn't seem like people were really super excited for this one, which, you know, there are all sorts of different reasons for that. Huh?
Say that again? They weren't what excited?
Oh, did I say super? I didn't even notice. Super excited. And I feel like I was always a little bit skeptical of James Gunn's new DC universe. I have kind of been on the outs with James Gunn as a filmmaker for a while, and I never really bought that this was going to be like this new different thing. And I think once the trailer came out, we were all just seeing the same things we've become accustomed to seeing, whether it's visually, whether it's we're adding in heroes here that don't need to be here. If we're bringing in directors that we don't know would be like great for this material. We're bringing in writers that don't have a lot of experience. I feel like the signs were just there that I was like, I'm not going to get my hopes up for this. But that is a separate thing from, like the excitement around a movie leading up to it. And obviously there's been just like so much misogyny circling the conversation about this film. But what do you guys think that means, that like Superman was this like phenomenon, like everyone was so excited, and then Supergirl, it felt like it just wasn't the same?
Well, this is gonna be an interesting breakdown of like trying to understand the failures of this movie, less about the actual content, and we'll talk about like what about the movie doesn't work, because we're talking pre this movie coming out, why the excitement isn't there like it was for Superman. I don't know if it was on a previous episode publicly or on Patreon or just in our private discussions, but we had these conversations about, yes, we understand, by the way, everyone listening, that this is not a James Gunn directed or James Gunn written movie.
Yeah.
We know that. Thank you for pointing it out, though, but we know that. But he is in charge of the whole thing. He is the head chef in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It does go by him for approval. And
everything from the beginning
decisions.
of production to the final edit of the film, James Gunn has final say in
exactly
what is happening.
So that is important, because a part of my fatigue and a part of my worry going into Supergirl was like, are we just going to get more James Gunn-esque comic book movies, superhero movies? And like, that was an era I enjoyed. I had a fun time on the Guardians run.
Guardians was the best, man.
It was a good time.
Everyone was like, oh my God, these movies are so good. I can't believe it.
And it inspired a handful of copycats that worked to some degree and some didn't at all. And then, Gunn did the swap to DC. He did Suicide Squad, which I enjoyed. And then he did Superman, where I'm like, okay, I like Superman a good amount. But we are seeing like the same things kind of reskinned. And so Supergirl, when the trailer came out, it immediately felt like, oh, this is like a James Gunn movie. I don't know how much Craig Gillespie is going to be influencing the direction here, or Anna Nogueira's writing is going to be working here. It just feels like a James Gunn production. And I didn't love the Craig Gillespie choice. I didn't like it from the beginning. I think a lot of people were justifying it simply because he made
Cruella
and I, Tonya. Oh, he made two movies that have strong women leads.
He's the voice of women.
Yeah, clearly he's the right choice, right? Craig Gillespie. He has the track record, 2 movies, maybe more. I don't really remember. And that was like the justification to bring him in, because Supergirl will take a similar, she's a messier superhero. She has flaws, and so let's get Craig Gillespie to do it. He knows how to do a movie with women who have flaws. Like that was I felt like that was the thinking. I think that was a bad decision, if we're being completely honest. I've seen Anna Nogueira's credits, not Not amazing.
She has more acting credits than writing credits.
Yeah.
The big writing credit that people are pointing out is that she wrote Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
which
Well,
Wonder Woman.
Well, not the
She's going to write the
Oh,
Wonder
no, so I'm
Woman
sorry.
movie.
She's going to write
in
Wonder Woman.
James
What was the big
Gunn's-
writing credit before this?
Nothing.
No, there was one. There was
I think
one.
she
no?
wrote a short film or something.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, it's actually nothing.
It's like
She's credited
genuinely-
online as like a playwright and an actress, so she's
Okay.
like written things, but
yeah.
I mean, this is the trend we're seeing with these movies is that honestly, I think it's because it's cheap to bring in TV writers, especially
Yeah.
who don't have a lot of experience. I don't know. I'm like, bro, why are we not why are we not bringing in David Koepp? Like, David Koepp wrote Spider-Man.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
why are
David
we not?
Koepp's legacy right now is a little
Yeah,
bit in
but I'm just
question.
saying, like,
Yeah.
people who we know can do like a great job, or bring in
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 of these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Are we trying to save money or what? But not to say that you can't find talented people this way.
Of course.
But
I
it's a
don't know if it's
trend.
worse or better that Anna Nogueira wrote nothing versus my thought that she wrote Wonder Woman. I think it's probably better. Wonder Woman was fine from when it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were all these signs leading up to Supergirl where I wanted to be so optimistic because I love Millie Alcock, and I thought this was an appropriate direction to go. Like, we did Superman, let's do Supergirl. Like, obviously, yeah. I didn't know much about the character, but I was excited to learn.
And did you guys like the tease of her at the end of Superman?
I
Where
did.
Yeah. Okay.
I did too. Yeah.
I thought that made a lot of sense. Like, oh, she is someone struggling with her identity and trying to figure herself out. She's a little younger. And I was like, oh, this is like going to be a really interesting direction to go. It was so different from Superman.
Yeah, she contrasts him in that way, and Millie Alcock was so instantly charming. That
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
Ooh, fun. Yeah.
I was really pumped when she was shown at the end of Superman. And I think that kept my optimism as strong as it possibly could leading up to the release of this movie. And then the movie came out. I didn't see it yet. Like, the early reactions were coming out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like Mad Max, Supergirl." I'm like, "Oh no!" Like, are we just saying that because there's a desert involved? And then I watched the movie. I'm like, okay, that's basically why we're saying it. There's like one scene
There's
towards
one
the end.
scene where I was like, "This is
Is this why we're calling it Mad Max?
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah.
such an unfair comparison, by
Yeah.
the way. If you heard that and are thinking like it's a Mad Max movie, don't.
But it's interesting though. Like, it does feel very clear that they were kind of trying to do that though.
with the brigands and like
the design of and like the sex trafficking
Mm-hmm.
situation that they were
yeah.
like, oh, this is like an interesting kind of setup to follow. That was also like a female-led film.
What was your headspace, Claire?
Going in, I feel like I was the most optimistic of the three of us when it came to Supergirl. I was trying to root for it, maybe a little bit out of spite because everyone was like, no. But
Well, that's important though. It's like,
Yeah.
I also am rooting for this movie because I want incel chuds to shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want them to win. I don't want them to be online saying like, "Ha, this movie failed because," and then they give some really disingenuous reasons or
Yeah.
some very bigoted, prejudiced reasons, misogynistic reasons. Like, I want this movie to do well because I want all movies to do well, but I also want to do well because I want all those losers on the internet to eat crow and go away forever.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I want this movie to succeed for multiple reasons. I think that's a
For
very fair
sure.
thing to say.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, I went in like hopeful, but I was wary. I am curious though, like, do you guys think the knee-jerk like hesitancy with James Gunn running the entire like cinematic universe is because he's such a like his directed films are so distinct and he's really established such a significant style, whereas like if it was just a guy in a suit, we wouldn't care. Like Feige runs Marvel, but he's just the producer, so he's not directing necessarily. Like what is the difference between Feige running Marvel and James Gunn running the DCU now?
That is interesting because a lot of people have been saying too, like, well, no one says this about Feige, and I'm like, I say this about Feige.
I was gonna say,
I
say
blame
this about
Feige for
Feige.
all
I
sorts of shit that are going wrong.
too.
Like, I blame Feige for things beyond the MCU that
Yes.
are wrong in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Honestly, when people are like, "Well, no one blames Feige," my reaction is like, "Yeah, I blame Feige."
I
Listen
do,
to an
so.
entire Patreon series where
You know, there are
Feige.
so many films post Endgame, even pre Endgame, where it's an obvious mess, and the person I look to blame is Feige, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
Like he is the decision maker. This is the guy running the show.
Yeah, they're running the show, and it's like they get the final say. But that is an important question, Claire, because Feige is not, you're right, like Feige is not a filmmaker. So he is going to have different notes and feedback for
There's a different
making these
influence there.
Yeah, there's a different influence. Like James Gunn might be more more involved in like, what does this action scene look like, or like what does the color palette look like or something, whereas Feige might be more just like, I don't know, like production decisions and like the direction of the franchise. So it is different, but I think they are equally responsible in what ends up happening with like the overall direction of the series and what trends we are seeing in the filmmaking and like the production of the films from the ground up. I think that's what I'm so frustrated about, is I'm so sick and tired of these movies being made this way.
Yeah.
And I think it was really honestly disingenuous of James Gunn to be like, these are going to be really like auteur driven. I don't know if he said auteur, but like the directors are going to have like creative freedom, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I never once identified this as a Craig Gillespie film. I felt like this was the same flawed production from the get-go. It looks like crap. I did not feel like there was like a real thoughtfulness put into making this movie. I feel like it is a comic book product, just like all these other movies that we've been talking about for the last 10 years, because this isn't, you watch Matt Reeves' The Batman, and that's what I think people thought was going to happen with James Gunn's DC universe, and I don't think that's what's happening at all.
Wow.
Heat.
Snaps. That was great. Amazingly well said. And I want to just echo what you said in that it's so unfair to Supergirl, and that Superman got Gunn behind it.
Yeah.
Who Claira has already said has a very distinct style, a distinct voice. We've seen the voice and style a lot in the last 10 years, and it's maybe you get fatigued from it, but there is a voice and style there.
For sure.
And that fit the tone of Superman.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it
kind of
matched
worked for that
well.
movie. And so you get to Supergirl, and the hope is, okay, let's find somebody whose directing voice and style can fit the tone of Supergirl, and who has an identity that makes this movie feel distinct from Superman and distinct from all the other comic book movies that we've been getting for the last decade, like Sydney said. And you land on Craig Gillespie, and you watch this movie. It's like I'm not watching this thinking, oh, this is a Craig Gillespie production. I can definitely see Craig Gillespie's voice in this movie. That's not apparent even a little bit. And it's so unfair to go from Superman to Supergirl, and like that's what happens in this movie. And it's going to be even more unfair if we go Superman, Supergirl, and then we go Clayface. And if Clayface, which I want to do well, again, all these movies do well, but if we go to Clayface and we like it, and one of the things we talk about is, wow, it felt so distinct.
So different, yeah.
And so different. Wow, there was a voice there. And that's going to be even more frustrating in that, like, why did Supergirl get stuck with such a generic style and identity?
Right. But I mean, I think that's the running issue with a majority of female-led superhero movies across multiple cinematic universes at this point. Like Black Widow is just kind of there, like, and also like Marvel as a whole doesn't do a lot with their female superheroes as standalones, and then DC, like Wonder Woman is a mess.
Well, this movie deserves no credit anymore, but to the first one's somewhat credit, it does feel like a Patty Jenkins movie in a way.
That's true. That's a good point.
And that, like, I watched that movie and I could see like Patty Jenkins clearly had a lot to do with this.
Yeah.
And like that's probably the one thing about that movie that still works today.
That's true.
But like I think of Nia DaCosta's The Marvels,
yes,
in which Nia DaCosta has such a unique voice in filmmaking, and it feels so obviously handcuffed in that production. And you know why? Feige. There you go, everyone. I'm blaming Feige.
There we go. We got him.
That's why.
Yeah.
And so like it's frustrating.
It's exhausting to see this trend continue, because obviously this is something that's been like a long-standing thing of like female-led superhero movies aren't as good and people don't care as much, and it's like it is almost like a chicken and egg situation where it's like, is it the audience isn't caring and so the filmmaking, they don't care as much, or is it the filmmaking is so clearly not caring about this that the audiences are reflecting that
That's a great
themselves?
analogy.
Good question. Well, because from our perspective, we're like, Oh, Multiverse of Madness was so good
That was
because
great.
We're big Multiverse
Sam
of Madness
Raimi's
people.
fingerprints were all over it, and like Sam Raimi had to like beg Feige to let him do what he wanted in many ways, and still there's like a lot of like slop stuff in there.
Well, in that episode where we talked about the worst part of Multiverse of Madness are the parts where you can see Feige was like, I'm overriding your direction here.
Yeah.
Let's have John Krasinski as
Exactly. But a lot of people don't think Multiverse of Madness is a good movie in the same way that we do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if the average audience member can really discern between the films where that vision shines more than others. But do you guys also think that a lot of, everyone talks about, oh, I would have loved to see, I don't know, like Rose Glass, try her, like all these different female directors were like, what would that look like? Do you think that this has happened so many times that a lot of female directors and writers are just like, I'm not dealing with the misogyny and just like headache that this is going to be? Like Nia DaCosta was very outspoken about how terrible the experience was for her.
I wouldn't blame any woman who is like, I don't want to get near that at all. No. I saw what happened with Nia DaCosta and the Marvels. I saw the backlash. I saw the backlash to Chloe Zhao. I saw the backlash to all these people. Yeah, I wouldn't blame someone who doesn't want to get near it. Kathy Yan did Birds of Prey.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
I like Birds of Prey a decent amount, but that movie also got saddled up with like a really shitty release date and like just obviously was treated so much lesser than its peers. So, I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody if they're like, I don't want to get near that. Like, why would I want to deal with the misogynist incels on Twitter and the constant YouTube thumbnails that are taking my face and AI altering them to make it look awful.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to deal with any of that?
Yeah.
And especially on top of all that, if they're not giving me the creative freedom to make the movie I want to make.
Right.
That's just sounds like a shitty deal all around.
It is just odd because you look at Clayface and like James Watkins is making Clayface, or directing Clayface, and Craig Gillespie is like a known director. Like I think there's some name recognition there.
Of course, yeah.
But I mean, they got Mike Flanagan to come in and write it. He's co-writing it with Hossein Amini, who wrote Drive. Like we're like getting some people in here that is like it's something I'm excited to see whether that's gonna pay off. And it just feels like and like the tone and the trailer of Clayface is so distinct, which is a little bit easier because it's like a horror film.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, why does you're right. Like, why does it feel like we were just putting a lot of juice behind the movies other than Supergirl? I don't know.
I don't know. It's part of like the big frustration with this movie. You've already kind of answered this question, Sid, so I don't have to go to you, but I'll come back to you in a second. Claire, what'd you think of Supergirl?
Oh. Oh yeah, the movie. I thought it was a big letdown. I don't think there's a lot here to hold on to one way or the other. I think Millie Alcott as Kara is awesome. I think she embodies the character and this version of the character so wholeheartedly and very authentically, and it makes for a mostly fun watch. But the writing isn't doing her many favors in that, like, it's a story that demands a certain amount of emotional buy-in, but there's never any reason to buy into that emotionality in this movie, in my opinion. I don't think it amounts to much. And I do wonder if that is because so much of this is, again, about this idea of like a reluctant hero, which is a familiar trope in superhero movies, but I don't know if it works perfectly with everything else going on here. I think the messaging gets really incoherent near the end, especially in relation to the fact that this is also like a movie about sex trafficking. I think that's where it really started to lose me. And I was mostly let down. I was kind of relieved when it was over. And I'll add too, I feel like it really dragged in a way that was alarming because this is under 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I felt like Masters of the Universe, which is 2.5 hours long, went by faster and with like more fun than Supergirl did.
Yeah, Joe doesn't agree.
Joe doesn't agree with that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I do.
You know, I agree mostly in the sense that like Supergirl is a fine movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen.
No.
It's definitely not the best movie I've ever seen. I understand where people are like, I had fun with it. I think I understand that to a certain degree. Some of the action is cool, I suppose. There's some cool slow motion scenes. the biggest takeaway is that despite the movie being just fine, Millie Alcock is very good as Kara.
Yeah.
And like that is the one thing I needed to want to continue to watch these movies. I want to watch more Supergirl movies, and that's important.
Yeah.
Because Millie Alcock does bring this like natural edginess, messiness, angstiness, flawed, humanity to Kara, a vulnerability that I think is really important to the character that Superman kind of lacks sometimes. And there's that distinction, like this is a Supergirl who remembers her past. And I like that a lot. I wish there was more that they were digging into that.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just my own fault for reading Woman of Tomorrow and expecting that kind of, that laser focus unpacking of someone's trauma, because that story does a really good job with kind of talking and discussing Kara's pain and Ruthie's pain. I kind of watched, when I watched Supergirl, I'm like, I hope I get some of that. And then Lobo shows up. I'm like, what is this guy doing here? Like Jason Momoa, fun guy.
Yeah.
He has a really great presence on screen. When he laughs, I laugh. He makes some one-liners and like, that Jason Momoa.
I'm charmed by you, Lobo.
Yeah, I'm charmed by you. You're a funny guy.
I admit it.
You have a cool motorcycle and I like it. I don't know why you're here.
Yeah.
Actually, I do know why you're here. But I don't like that you're here.
I don't like
And
the
it's
reason why.
It's so very clear why he's here. Like this feels like an obvious studio note of, hey, Anna Noguera, we need to have a man in this movie because we don't believe a fully woman-led film could succeed. So let's throw Jason Momoa's Lobo in there. He doesn't add anything to the story, but let's throw him in there.
Is
That's
it
what
also
it feels like to me.
because are they making a Lobo movie? Is that something that's in production?
I'm sure.
Maybe.
I'm
I don't
sure
know
it's
if
somewhere.
that's confirmed or not. I will add though, because in that Rolling Stone interview I was reading, she also talked about how their biggest source of inspiration for this movie is True Grit, which is an interesting thing. I'm like, I don't know if I totally see that in the movie.
Oh, you don't?
I guess kinda.
I mean, it's just simply in the structure, like the plot, right? Like,
yeah.
Right.
young girl hires a hitman who is a little bit of a
Yeah.
messy, drunk person and who has his own pain and traumas.
And they bond. And
They bond.
It was a
yeah.
huge influence on the comic as well, so I feel like it
Yes,
just
which is like that makes sense. But so she's talking in the interview about how specifically for Lobo and like integrating him into the script, she was like, oh, well, naturally that's Matt Damon's character. Like he's the third party coming in, and that's so like traditional Western like structure. And I'm like, okay, like I kind of get that reasoning, but I think it is maybe more accurately what you're pointing out of like, we need at least one man in this movie. It can't just be girls. Like,
Yeah,
what would we do?
he's in it so sparingly. I was almost surprised. Like I almost felt like I was like, well, thank God, because I wouldn't like if they tried to shoehorn him in even more. And it's almost it makes it easier to have fun with it when he just kind of shows up for 30 seconds and goes like, huh, and then like leaves. But yeah, it is. It's just like, okay, once again, like we're like forcing these characters into these films that don't need to be here.
It's a fascinating decision from like an executive level that someone was like, yeah, let's put Lobo in this movie. Because from what I'm reading on the internet right now, there is no official confirmation of a Lobo film.
So
Okay.
weird.
So maybe I'm sure it's something they're going to look into, especially the feedback from this movie is like, we love Millie Alcock, but we also love Jason Momoa. And then I'm sure they'll take that as like, okay, let's make more Jason Momoa Lobo
Yes.
movies. Like, I'm sure that's going to be the lesson they learn from this. And I just watched this movie and I think if you just take out all the Lobo parts, which is like, it is sparingly, but you take all that out and you add more of Kara and Ruthie bonding and talking, or maybe you take actual moments from the graphic novel into the movie. Maybe there's something there, maybe there's more of an emotional impact in this film in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like Lobo in this movie at all.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on Millie Alcock at all, Sid? Because Claire and I both are like, yeah, we love Millie Alcock as Kara. Do you want to expand on it?
Yeah, I think that she's really great. Like I feel like she really understood like what she needed to do with the role. I think she's a great actress. And I think like Millie Alcock, I feel like she's been around just because House of the Dragon was such a big thing. She hasn't done a lot of film roles. So I just think it's really impressive how well she embodies the character. I do agree with Claira that I think the problem is almost that when Kara gets to the end and the resolution of her arc is that she has now decided to return home to Earth and she's going to really give it her all to like make a home there. I don't know if we understand what like the inciting incident is to cause that change in her. Like, I don't think we actually see throughout the film things that happen that we're like, oh, I'm like living through this emotional arc with this character and I understand why she's had a change of heart. I feel like we're supposed to come away with it and just be like, oh, she's like experienced this big journey and now she's ready to go home. I wish there was more specificity in that because I don't feel like we get to like really know Kara. I feel like she's almost a little one note in certain ways, in a way that Millie Alcock manages to rise above, but is still limited by.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat in that so much of this movie's emotion is riding on the fact that like, you know what happened to Krypton. And so because you know that planet blew up and all the people died, and then there's this, you learn a little bit more about this one city that was saved and then this disease started spreading. So like it's using this knowledge of this very traumatic event and trying to use that to justify all these other things that happen. And like, I get that. Like, I can understand like why Kara is traumatized and like why she feels, you know, in a way like she does not have a home. But that's not enough. We need more of like, I think there needs to be more development to the character to get to this point where at the very end she decides to go back home, because it doesn't really make sense why she all of a sudden wants to go back home. Like, I know she has a few conversations with Clark about like, hey, you need to find your people, you need to find your home. But like, I don't understand. I understand, but I just don't think there's enough there for me to feel like, oh, it's so, you know, emotional. She decided to go back to Earth now. I just don't know if they're doing enough work to earn that.
Pinpoint, because the journey is with Ruthie, right? Like, we're supposed to be playing these two characters off each other and how they like teach each other and learn from each other. Can we pinpoint something about her relationship and journey with Ruthie that like inspired that change in her?
That's kind of the question that like determines if the ending is going to work, right? Like, at what point does her moment with Ruthie where she realizes, yeah, I need to go home and like find a home.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, I don't know if we can pinpoint. Maybe you guys can. There's not a moment between her and Ruthie that makes me think, oh, that's when she realizes she needs to go home. Like, this is the moment.
Claira?
I feel like it's less we need to identify a moment where she's specifically like, I need to go home, because I don't know if that's the necessarily truly the root of it, because I think it is her embracing the promise she made of being good, and she can identify she can be good with Clark because Clark is so good, and so together they can do
this is my
good.
My other issue is that like, okay, so her whole thing is like, Clark sees the good in everyone, I see the truth. That's the whole like shtick, the mantra of Supergirl, is that she's a little bit more realistic about the world, right? Not as optimistic and as puppy dog as Clark. Okay, I think that's, and again, I'm trying not to bring up the graphic novel as much.
I know, but
that
I think
idea is
I
explored
think
extremely well in that, like, this idea that like she understands this idea of revenge is so tempting to kind of solve these emotional conflicts within us, and even she gets to a point where she thinks it could be the right decision, and like that's happening in this movie, but the ending I think completely undermines all of that. And I hate the ending of this movie.
Yeah, it's not very. And you know what? I feel like for me, I'm identifying the issue of that lies in the fact that as they're going on this big odyssey in the movie, we're hearing a lot about the atrocities the brigands are committing. They're kidnapping girls, and we like know that. But it's so kept off screen that it almost feels a little removed. Whereas, like, again, not to get too comparative with the graphic, like the comic, but like, that you are following them through planet after planet of genocide, and the characters are sitting in the aftermath of like this mass atrocity event on multiple planets, and so you feel the wear of that on Kara as she goes on the journey. I don't feel like Kara's ever truly that concerned, truthfully, about these girls that have been kidnapped. It's almost like an afterthought that, oh yeah, we should save these girls.
That's a good point.
And I think that's where we're lacking that inciting feeling of, okay, this is the moment where it's all clicked for her and she's ready to go, is because there's nothing going on that she actually really cares about beyond helping the dog. And I think that's the problem.
Oh, that's such a good
Dude.
point.
Yeah.
There's so much going on here with the ending, and I think it is so relevant to the graphic novel because it's like so here's okay, let me tell you this thing because this will influence the conversation.
Okay. Oh.
I saw an interview with Variety with this screenwriter, Ana Nogueira. She said that at the end of the graphic novel, Ruthie kills Krem.
Oh, that's not accurate though.
So
So
she's interpreting it very literally.
Oh,
it seems that there was a fundamental misreading of the comic that happened before the script started being written. So
oh wow,
it seems that the understanding, and if you haven't read the comic, like there is a lot of confusion, but there like by readers. But Tom King, the writer, has come out and said Krem is not killed at the end of the comic.
Well, maybe we take 2 steps back really quickly and say 2 things. One,
Okay.
disclaimer for Supergirl Woman Tomorrow, the graphic novel.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it,
we're spoiling it
and
all.
you've seen the movie already, read the novel.
Yeah,
At
it's
this point,
phenomenal.
It's worth reading just because it's a great story. 2, so there's spoilers. Maybe we go over very quickly some of the bigger distinctions and we can kind of break down why they're not in the movie and why that works or doesn't work. So the big moment that we're kind of referring to, or a couple of big moments. One, the idea of human trafficking, not in the graphic novel at all.
At all.
That's added to this movie. The brigands are genocidal maniacs and evil people, but there's no note of them like stealing women to kind of continue their legacy. That's added to this film. And then what we're referring to specifically is the ending of the graphic novel, which I think we should just very clearly say what it is. What happens in the graphic novel is that Supergirl and Ruthie defeat Krem. Ruthie is given an opportunity to kill Krem. She has every opportunity to gut him. He's tied to a palm tree, essentially. She can slit his throat. She challenges him to a duel, essentially, defeats him, has many opportunities to kill him, doesn't do it because Kara's like, don't do it. Like this is not it's not gonna make you happy. It's not gonna to solve the feelings you have within you. So they send Krem to the Phantom Zone, which is like, the jail in the DC universe where they just hang out for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, infinity.
And then because the whole story of the graphic novel is told as like a campfire story.
It's through Ruthie's point of view, which I think is really essential to that shift in the movie. I think is also detracting a lot from what's going on here.
It definitely leans into like the mythology of Supergirl a little bit more when someone is recounting what happened. So anyways, you get to the end of the graphic novel. Ruthie is now older. She's like 80s. She's an elderly woman. She has a cane and everything. Krem has been transported back to Ruthie and Supergirl. And Krem is like, from what it seems, very sorry for what's happened, trying to express his regret and say his apologies to Ruthie. In the final few frames of the graphic novel, as he's like begging for forgiveness, Ruthie takes her cane and bonks him on the head. And the few frames show Krem kind of like moving backwards and you see like a little blood come out. And like the final frame of the graphic novel, though, you see Krem's hand on his face, which implies he's not dead. He's just been bonked on the head. But so what you're saying is that the screenwriter has interpreted that Ruthie has killed Krem.
Yeah, so that is what it appears to be. I'm kind of like, I don't want to say this definitively because I'm just like, how can you possibly think that? And how did like no one tell you?
Yeah,
that's not
I'm
what's
hoping
happening.
Maybe someone corrected her at some point.
But I think it does. It's relevant. I mean, I think this is like a post movie coming out interview.
Shit.
But
well, hopefully it's something.
But that is relevant because if the thought all along was that Krem is killed at the end, regardless of by who, it seems more understandable, like why they would change it so that Supergirl, I don't know about understandable, but like, you start to understand why they may have done what they did. And what she says in the interview as well is like, we needed to, something along the lines of like, we needed Krem to be like a bad enough guy that we sort of like to die. And I think that is a big reason why they added the sex trafficking, because they wanted it to be like, how can we make this guy so bad that it seems like it's like a good and righteous thing that Supergirl killed him? Which I think is so interesting, because so much of what's ingrained in Superman, but also in Kara, in the graphic, not like Kara is a good person in the novel. Like, she doesn't kill people. It's not like that was what was such an interesting change about her character. I mean, she's not like a killer in the movie per se. Like, she's not like running around killing people, but you don't get that sense of like moral goodness from Millie Alcock's Supergirl. You never really get the sense that she gives a shit about Ruthie. And in the graphic novel, another thing is that Kara is actually lying about Crypto needing antidote.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Yeah, so in the graphic novel, she just says that Crypto needs antidote because she wants to go on this journey with Ruthie, and she wants to kind of try to teach her something and try to get her to not go on this path of revenge, because she's been there and she understands. But in the film, they make it literal that Crypto needs antidote. So that is like Supergirl's main motivation for going on this journey. And people have pointed out, when she kills Krem in the film, she says, this is for that girl and her family and for my dog. She doesn't say shit about the trafficked girls. So it's like, I don't think the trafficked girls is ever like explicitly acknowledged by Supergirl. She like breaks them out of their cage or whatever, but she's not like, this is so wrong. Like, it's never like discussed, which is why I'm like,
it's such an afterthought. It feels like
it's
a
such an
note, like, hey,
afterthought.
we need, like you said, we need to find a way to make Krem so despicable that when Kara does this, we all cheer.
But that's the point of the revenge thing, is that it's like, killing isn't right regardless of what they
Exactly.
did.
And that's why
So
the
it's
graphic novel
not
works
like-
so well, in that, like, I love so much in the graphic novel, the big twist is that Crypto is fine. And Crypto has been fine the whole time. And Kara has gone on this very arduous journey simply because she knows how important it is to preserve Ruthie's innocence and preserve her goodness.
Yes.
That's what makes the ending of that graphic novel so insanely powerful. And you get this movie where it like completely abandons the fundamental theme of the graphic novel. And it's such a shocking decision to have Kara kill this guy. Like, I understand what he's doing is evil, and like, but like, if you're gonna bring in this sex trafficking plot, you got to give it more than just like a 2-second acknowledgement, and there needs to be more. And the fact that there's not kind of is almost more insulting, I think.
Oh, I totally agree. And well, and I just think it's all so incoherent when you're applying it to this greater idea of like moral code, because like, even when we first meet Ruthie, she's in that little white nightgown, and that's basically what these girls are wearing throughout the rest of the movie. So there's an immediate connection between like the innocence of Ruthie, the innocence of these girls who are being kidnapped. But then so much of the conflict is like, we have to protect Ruthie. Her heart is pure. She can't be tainted. Like, her innocence is essential to protect. But then these girls who have been sex trafficked, we're not thinking about. And then there's even a moment at the end where they start killing the brigands, and it's like a victorious, like, hell yeah, they're killing the people that did them wrong. And it's like, okay, so preserving their innocence doesn't matter. And it almost becomes a thing of like, their innocence doesn't matter because they've been quote unquote ruined by what's happened to them. And I think that is like an alarming thing to be seeing in the text. And I think it leads to a lot of bigger issues in the film as a whole.
Yeah, it does. I just don't like that they made that decision. And when I watch movies like this, sometimes I'm like, okay, is it really like we're making a movie about women and like the worst thing you can think of is rape? Like, that's just like the plot line that we're gonna add. And I do think it's like, if you're not willing to really reckon with the moral implications of this, just don't do it. Like, you had a perfectly good story that was about revenge as this like broader concept, and I don't know, you just like added this weird thing that made it, that kind of like makes it all fall apart. Like, I wonder if that wasn't part of it with the, like, you're watching the movie and they're like, oh yes, that's right, like they traffic these young girls to preserve their all male race, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
like why?
So many just like big ethical conflicts that just are quick one-liners. Like, oh, hey, by the way, they are trafficking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Yeah,
feel like that's
yeah.
the downside too of Kara not like already being Supergirl essentially, is she doesn't care about any of that. Like if it was obviously like if you're saying like Superman's running around or even just like comic book Kara, these are things she'd be witnessing and wanting to help with along the way. But in this world, she just like does not give a fuck about anything.
I think that, and it's okay for, like, I think it's interesting when we explore superheroes as real flawed people.
Of course.
But I come away from this movie and I'm not really like thinking Kara is a particularly great person. That's like what I loved about the graphic novel is like Supergirl has a moment of like giving into that pain because she has the moment of wanting to kill Krem as well, and now it's time for Ruthie to be the hero, and Ruthie saves Supergirl from making that mistake as well. It's like a really great moment. And that's like her point of weakness in the film, and you kind of get to know through Ruthie's eyes, oh wow, this like mythological hero struggles with these same feelings I do, but she rises above them, and that's like really inspiring. But she also needs to be saved sometimes too. And I just never felt like this Kara had that like maturity and wisdom to her that is really like inspiring. And that's okay, but I almost think it fundamentally doesn't work with the story because Kara feels like she needs to learn the same lessons as Ruthie. It doesn't feel like she's actually teaching Ruthie any lessons. It feels like they're both two little girls running around who don't have a handle on anything, when in the comic it was like this surprising thing you learned about this infallible hero, and here she's so fallible the whole time that I almost don't think it works with the True Grit thing,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was a part of like what made the graphic novel so great, but also what makes True Grit so great is that when you meet Rooster Cogburn, he has a known legacy. He is known as like the bounty hunter who can get it done, right? Or he has this impact wherever he walks in, like that's Rooster Cogburn. I don't get that in this movie. Like when in the graphic novel as well,
they're constantly like, holy shit, that's Supergirl.
That's Supergirl.
Yeah.
There's a great page in the graphic novel where she's like sitting at a bar and some guy goes, "Are you Supergirl?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You kill like your brother imprisoned my brothers. I'm here to kill you and get revenge." And like, there's just like nothing like that in this movie where we understand that Supergirl is someone who's known. And it feels like there's like this very like one track thinking in this movie where it's like there's unable to balance this idea that she could be a popular and big hero in this universe, but also have flaws. Like it's either like she has flaws but isn't popular. Like it's like a weird, like they can't balance both things.
Yeah.
I can identify why that's happening partially.
Why?
It is a James Gunn decision to have Superman not be known in the wider galaxy at this time because of the timeline of the Superman film we watched. He like explicitly was like, I don't want the wider galaxy to know who he is yet.
They don't know Superman, but if the implications like, oh, Supergirl has been, in the galaxy, just run around, going from planet to planet. You can still have her have some type of legacy. She can still
and like the
have some type of-
Kryptonians themselves are like very known, and they're like, ooh, aren't you?
That's
like,
the one
allergic
moment
to
where
kryptonite?
Pluto's like, oh,
Like,
I thought all the Kryptonians died.
That's right. But yeah, I really like the detail in the graphic novel where Supergirl is dealing with the fallout of like Superman's actions because they think that she's like a lesser person that they can take their anger out on because they're afraid of Superman. I really like that. But I mean, it is one of those things where I'm like, we don't need to do that. Like, I'm like, okay on paper with them not having that, not having like certain details like that in the movie. It's just like, again, like people are always going to say like, oh, you just didn't like it because they changed the graphic novel. And that's not it at all. I just think that all of these decisions fundamentally misunderstood the point of the original story in a way that renders the entire thing like obsolete, basically.
I agree.
I agree.
Krem as a villain? In the movie, fairly generic, fairly boring.
I like that they have a running gimmick with him where every time he stops in and is like terrorizing something, he is like, give me some food. And he's like,
he loves
eating
to
and
eat.
drinking. He's eating the whole time.
That guy loves to eat. What I liked about Krem in the graphic novel was that he was just some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An evil hitman.
And he wasn't even the leader of the brigands. He was just, he
No.
just joined
He was
them
just tagging along.
coincidentally.
Well, not even the best or more interesting part is that like the brigands recognize how evil he is, and they're like, "Hey, join us.
Hop on in.
You'll love
He got
it
like
here."
recruited.
He got recruited.
He got scouted.
Yeah.
You know, and Krem in the graphic novel tries to kill Supergirl in the beginning and realizes, oh, I can't. She's too powerful, and like is kind of afraid of Supergirl because he knows he'll lose. And other difference, by the way, is that I hate that they just need to justify all these things because in the graphic novel, Ruthie's family, they're just rock farmers.
Yeah.
They're not, creating
Legendary
these
blade
makers
Yeah.
and blacksmiths. In the movie, they're like, we have to make sure they're like, Krem's there for a reason. He wants to steal their weapons. In the graphic novel, he's just an evil guy who shows up and kills her dad.
Yeah,
For fun.
and that even
For
has
fun.
that even has more additional context later on, where he he does reveal there's kind of like a reasoning behind it, and it makes it so much more fucked because it is just like random and like solidifies like the goodness of her father, and that he was just like an innocent victim. And I liked that in the graphic novel, and this is just like
Oh,
Right.
It's just so frustrating. Like, why do we need to keep ascribing these like, well, there needs to be a deeper reason here. Sometimes there doesn't need to be. Sometimes
Right,
it's actually more scary when there's no reason.
That's what was effective. Just like sometimes the meaninglessness of violence
Exactly.
and chaos in the world and how we deal with that within ourselves. That's like something that's really powerful. And yeah, it is just like every decision you realize they made, you're just like, why did you do that? Like, I feel like you just did that for the wrong reasons and it makes the story worse.
And the frustrating part is I feel like we've had this conversation like tenfold.
A million
Yeah.
Every
times.
time we get an adaptation, whether it be comic book or not, we find out like, oh, they give a backstory to this person. Why? Like,
yeah.
sometimes like that's the most effective part of the story reading is that they don't have a backstory. They don't have a reason, They're just doing these evil things. It'd be like watching, this is a weird comparison, but I always think about the movie Hush, Mike Flanagan's Hush, and how the guy who shows up to kill the main character in the movie is just like a bad guy.
He's just having fun.
They don't spend time giving us a flashback of like him being like traumatized as
My
a
mom
kid.
was mean to me, and so I'm killing women now.
Or like this was the house that my mom,
Yeah.
beat me in, or my dad beat me in.
I
so
vowed to revenge upon all these innocent people for that.
It's
Yeah,
just like a bad guy who
yeah.
shows up and does bad things. And like I always think about that movie because I like that they kept it very simple. And that's
Absolutely.
what
Yeah.
made him effective as a scary villain.
Yeah.
And I look at Krem, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, Krem's
Yeah.
fine. We talked about Craig Gillespie. We talked about the ending. We talked about the adaptation process. This is an ugly ass movie, guys.
Boy, does it look
Dude.
bad. And
I
again,
was
like
shocked.
it's like shocking, and it sucks. Like again, like looking at the comic, but the comic is so vibrant and it has such a beautiful art style, and it just feels like none of that has been translated.
That's why
to the
I'm like,
screen.
dude, James Gunn is in charge here. I'm like, the one thing you couldn't do was give it like a Guardians 1 color palette. Like that's like,
know.
please.
Make it look decent.
Yeah.
I know we shouldn't be looking at the graphic novel like, well, of course they can't recreate every frame here.
Yeah.
They can't go to these.
Yeah.
Well, like, why can't they go to these
That's what-
illustriously beautiful planets? I
That's
don't
what I'm
understand
saying.
that.
Yeah, they go to every most barren place in the world in this movie, and it's just like, okay, thanks, I guess.
And I don't buy the whole like, oh, but it's like a Western, like it's like True Grit, like it's the desert. I'm like, no, like you're in space. You're
It
going to a
almost
bunch
feels
of different
like-
places.
Yeah.
Desert is not an excuse to make your movie look like dirt.
No, because you want to know what desert looked great recently? The desert in Hokum.
The desert in Hokum.
That
oh,
was
yeah,
beautiful.
desert
That's very
sequence.
Lawrence of
Beautiful and
Arabia
vibrant, but
vibes.
still a wasteland. Like you
Please,
can have
a blue
both.
sky
Yeah.
anywhere.
A blue sky anywhere.
A blue sky would be
People
great.
bring up the Mad Max desert.
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah.
moments. That whole movie's a desert essentially, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure, okay, if your excuse is the Western, that's a bad excuse because you still make dirt and does look pretty. But like, you can still be a Western and go to a planet that has trees and water. Sorry.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
It's not an
too.
excuse. There's no excuse. I mean, we've known the third acts of these movies take place in big ass sludgescapes because it's easier to do it with green screen and whatever if there isn't like a tangible environment that you're trying to create.
Yeah, the Flash. Endgame
Yes.
to us, sorry, Endgame fans, but like it just takes place in like I guess I know it's supposed to be ruins, but it's just a wasteland.
Yeah.
Essentially. I hate it. I hate the way this looks, and it's so frustrating. Even more frustrating because Superman has vibrancy to it.
Yeah.
I know people think Superman doesn't look great.
Yeah, which I think it's appropriate to say it's not like the ideal standard we should be looking to, but it's at least trying.
It's better
At least
than
trying
this.
something.
Yeah.
It's better than this, and it's. Yeah, when you read the graphic novel, it's even more frustrating because there's some really great sequences of them going to like a planet and there's dinosaurs on it and there's like lush green skies because of the green sun and like that green sun's
even
back in this movie, but
the kryptonite sun green was so like pale.
so
It was
pale.
very
Dude.
pale.
so dull. There's like no life in the
Yeah.
colors at all.
No.
It's just so sad and like it's frustrating because you see stills of Amelia Alcock just like flying through dirt.
I
essentially,
know.
just like
Ugh.
mud. I'm like, wow, where are you? This is
Yeah.
so- and every planet looks the same.
Yeah.
Like they're going to several different planets and they
Yeah.
all look the same.
They all look
They all
exactly
look
the same.
Yeah. Someone was saying that it's like there was I think it was the review at Vulture. I forget who wrote it, but they were saying that like it seems like the main inspiration for this was the cantina scene in Star
From
Wars.
Star Wars.
It just seems like it's
yeah.
that, just like over and over.
That was such
Which,
a
to
good
be fair,
critique.
one of the good things I can say about this movie, I think there actually are some great practical effects
yes.
here and there,
Yes.
which I was
Silver
surprised
lining.
by.
There are things this movie gets right. And we talked about Amelia Alcock being fantastic as Kara. I think that Eve
Ridley's
Ridley's performance as Ruthie, I think she's good.
Yeah, I think she's good too.
I think she
she's
brings
fine.
a sweetness to the film. Okay.
She's
fair
a
enough.
child, Sydney.
There's not a lot she can do with
No,
this.
Not a lot
there's
she
nothing
can
for
do.
her
With
to
the
do.
material that she's working with, there's not a lot
Yeah,
there.
they've really sanded down the character of Ruthie in this
Yes.
movie as well.
They have, which is a bummer. Ruthie is really cool in the graphic novel. Has a lot of nuance and
Yeah.
edge to her. It's
Fully
really cool.
capable little person.
Yeah. I mean, she's saving Kara from dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know? Some cool ass shit in that graphic novel.
Yeah.
Where was I going? Oh, Silver Lining.
It's
The practical
practical
effects
effects.
look really good. When they're on like the space bus
Yeah.
to go
Mm.
on the start the journey essentially, and all the little creatures everywhere. Fantastic.
Looks
creatures.
really good.
They look
All of them look really fun. That's a really cool part in the graphic novel that I think they did a really good job. For some reason, the one part of the graphic novel where they were like, "Yeah, let's adapt this page
Yeah, I know.
extremely
I
well,
know.
and then everything else we can kind of just like do half-ass. But this
Yeah.
page, we're gonna knock it out of the park, and it looks great. It looks really
It
good.
looks really good.
I had a fun time with it. I like this part where like they get invaded by the pirates. I like when Kara's flying through space. There's like a movement to it.
Yeah, I
enjoy.
feel like her hair has really great movement to
Yeah,
it. Like
it
I
looks
think
cool.
those scenes do look good.
It looks cool.
I did put in my notes, just speaking of that like bus scene, all I put in my notes was Seth Rogen alien, LOL.
Seth Rogen, little
Yeah,
He's a
alien
little
guy.
alien guy.
That makes a Seth Rogen double month. Well,
He did, yeah.
kind of. I guess the invite is technically July.
Yeah.
Right.
A
Depends
wide
on-
release,
LA double month.
Yeah, LA double month.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, basically Babu Frick, but
Yeah.
like a bus driver coordinator guy.
Yep.
I thought he was silly and fun.
Liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I'm always enjoying a little guy here and there. I like when the little guy shows up, but only for like a scene or two.
Yeah.
Those are the best little guys.
That's what I want.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
like the. Do you guys ever see the Men in Black movie with Chris Hemsworth?
No.
I did see that one, yeah.
The Kumail Nanjiani character is a little guy, but he's in the movie way too
Oh,
much.
they bring him
I don't
around the whole
remember
time.
No, he's in the movie too much. I think. So, anyways, okay, so we talked. Ooh, I mean, we've gone over almost everything. Is
Well-
there anything else you want to shout out?
So this is something I want to bring up because you texted about it, but
Oh.
it's so unremarkable to me that I had to really think about what you were.
Oh God, what did I
Same.
say?
You were talking about how bad the needle drops.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
We should probably talk about the music, which has also been revealed again
true.
to be in part a James Gunn influence,
That's
and like
so
he's
true.
that's where he's maybe putting his hands in the most.
Oh,
is
do
with-
we have confirmation that like he had input?
Dude,
Director
people are
confirmed.
laughing because it's like immediately Craig Gillespie was like, "That wasn't me, bro."
Yeah.
Like that's like one of the first things to come
He was
out.
like, oh, James Gunn came in and saved the day. We had
After-
45 songs, and
yeah,
he picked
after
the
they
one
had
we
tried
used.
45 songs.
That was the best one out of 45.
Also,
I
it isn't true. I'm like,
can't
why
believe
did we
that.
not do a Blondie song? Because she's wearing a Blondie shirt the
know.
entire movie.
I was getting like kind of mad that there was no Blondie. I was like, it's so
Yeah.
clearly her thing.
Wow. Well, now we know who to blame.
Yeah.
I will say, when that final needle drop happens at the end of the movie, by the way, if you're wondering which one, it's the final fight scene where Kara is saving Ruthie from the brigands, essentially, in the wasteland of nothingness. When that needle drop happened, the two girls next to me burst out laughing. Not even like covering their mouths and like trying to like hold it back. Burst out laughing.
Do you
That's
think they had
awesome.
heard about it? And
I don't
were
think
kind of
so.
like
I mean,
waiting
this
for
was
what
Thursday
it would
night.
be.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. If,
No, but I saw it Wednesday, and
I didn't know
knew
that.
about it because people had seen it earlier and were like, "That might be one of the worst needle drops ever." And I was waiting for it to start, and yeah, when it came on, I was like, "Oh my god, it really is that bad."
I feel like though, like that's one of those things that I think was bubbling up in like our film bubble a little bit of like the needle drop is really bad, but I don't know if that translate to.
But maybe they were on film Twitter.
True,
It's possible
you're
they
right.
were on film
Could be.
Twitter and they knew about it. I didn't know about it in the moment.
I didn't either.
And then I read online afterwards that people were like, yeah, there's a really bad needle drop in the movie.
It's the most like 2016 ass thing. Like, why is it? Yeah, like the cursive cover of this song.
Literally.
Because is it because a woman is singing it? Like, why
I'm
did
not
we do
exactly
that?
sure. So for anyone who hasn't seen the movie and you want to know really badly what it is it's a needle drop in the final scene of the movie that is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. However, it's a cover song. I don't know who the artist is. I don't think I want to explore who it is at this point. But it's like an acoustic cover of the song. And like we're talking, I've seen a lot of people try to justify this. And look, if you like the needle drop, I'm happy for you. You should love what you love. But the justification that it works because it's from Ruthie's perspective, I think is a bunch of crock. I'm sorry. I think it's bullshit. I think that just because it's from a perspective of a younger girl, that does not mean that we need to put this like slow down acoustic version of The Middle in it.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
so tonally off-putting. It does not work for me at all.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting because I feel like the movie does sort of infantilize Ruthie in a way that the character in the movie is actively trying to work
Working
against.
against. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and I feel like part of that, again, like going back to like the inclusion of Lobo is because Lobo's there and is almost like taking away from where she would have a moment to really like shine as a capable figure. Like a lot of the time he's just present for these moments instead. And I think that sucks.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point in that like the movie, everyone outside is trying to actively treat her like a little girl, and her whole thing is like she's not. And I'm like, well, these are two opposing forces, and it doesn't really work for what you're going here.
Right.
Terrible needle drop, arguably bottom one of all time. If you have one that's worse, let me know. I would
Yeah, I
love
can't
to
think of one.
explore it and listen to it. But this was appalling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to talk about that we have not yet gone over? I have one last question before we end our conversation, but
What?
maybe really quickly, any last thoughts, positive or negative?
I have a couple.
Okay.
let's hear 'em.
I think the Krypton flashbacks and the scenes with Superman are actually pretty good.
I agree.
I think it's a
I-
one time the movie it doesn't feel like things got like edited to shit. I think they were pretty effective. I thought Superman is just so sweet. And
Yeah.
I
It
do
is.
like their dynamic with each other.
But so,
almost
but
frustrating,
no,
though.
that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Is like those are arguably almost the best moments of the movie, and that sucks because like it's just re-emphasizing again. Remember the better movie? It was Superman, and it's like that sucks because
Yeah.
this movie clearly knows that's where people are gonna be more invested, is if he's on screen.
That is what sucks. And it's going to make people think, well, they're good because David Cornswig's
Yeah,
in it.
and it's because we're talking about
Superman's good.
Superman. Yeah,
And like, that's frustrating. It's so unfair to Supergirl.
yeah. I mean, I
that's
think the
true.
reality is we'll see her relegated to a side character going forward. I would be
Do you don't think we
shocked
get
if
another? Well, that's my next question. And before we get to it, I guess I just want to reiterate, yeah, the scenes on Krypton are great. The movie moves so
I like
fucking
the commitment
fast.
to them speaking Kryptonian.
That
Loves
was
it.
awesome.
That was awesome.
And apparently
And
some
we
of the
should-
lines were improvised, which is cool.
Oh, we should mention that they did double down on oh my god, I'm getting all the Krypton names mixed up.
Zor-El?
Superman's dad. Yeah, Zor-El being like
Kal-El's dad.
Yeah, Cal's
Not
dad.
or no,
Zor-El.
yeah, no,
Zor-El.
Zor-El is Supergirl's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they doubled down because doesn't
Jor-El.
Zor-El say like my brother wanted him to like be a king somewhere?
Conqueror. like,
yeah,
whatever.
conqueror of
Yeah.
Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. They did double down on it. I noticed that.
What
I
is
did like
Kal-El's
that.
dad's name?
Jor-El?
Jor-El.
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 And Zor-El is Supergirl's dad. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did double down on that. I like that a lot.
Me too.
Stick to their guns.
I kind of like that too.
Gun.
I'm like, okay, sure. Oh,
Yeah.
The gun is jammed though.
At
the moment.
The scenes on Krypton, the movie is moving so fast, but when they go to Krypton, they have those flashbacks. It's a nice slowdown. Like,
It is a nice slowdown.
it was a
I
nice
agree.
moment to kind of like live with Kara for a 2nd and like what she went through. Like
Absolutely.
I like that moment a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even mind. They also changed that Kara's not older than Superman.
Yeah.
No,
She
not in
is
his-
older than him in the comics because there was like a time.
She was
warp
put in the Phantom
situation.
Zone for like
Yeah, in the
25
Phantom Zone.
years.
Yeah.
But now it's only because Superman got sent away when Argo City became like the floating city, and they all remained there for a while. Yeah, so she was there for it, and he was not.
Yeah. Well, don't they just imply that he's just younger? Like he's just a baby and she's older.
No. She's
No,
born.
she's born
she's born
after.
8 years after Superman gets sent away.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because he gets sent away when the core of the planet starts
Yeah,
exploding
I thought
or
Kara
whatever.
saw him go away. Or was it maybe
No,
was
that
we were
was
we were
just-
watching like her parents watch that happen essentially. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, she's born after Argo City. They like put the force field and it got floated out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which like in a way like does feed beautifully into the greater idea of like you are born to like be good, is like you're born in the aftermath of this like cataclysmic event, and you were raised in an environment where people are dying in mass numbers, and like but you can still be a good person, and I think that is beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, the other thing I was gonna say is that I do just really like that part of her backstory and the whole Red Sun thing, and how she's kind of just she wants to be powerless, and it almost feels like a form of self-harm, and her like
Yeah.
processing this trauma I think is like really powerful and profound, and I enjoyed watching it happen in like the beginning of the film.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I didn't
with that.
enjoy watching it happen, but like I think they presented it
For
well.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
understand.
Don't worry.
I feel bad for her.
Likes to watch women suffer.
Jeez. All right. Final letterbox score before we get my final question of the episode. But final letterbox score.
It's sitting at a 2 for me right now.
Sid?
Yep, I'm at a 2 out of 5.
Joe?
I'm at a 2.5 out of 5.
Charitable.
You know, again, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
No.
It's not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. It's a perfectly fine film that I was majorly disappointed in.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be great. And I think it deserves to be great. And I think that if you enjoy it, great. Go support it because I want to see more of this movie or more of Millie Alcock as Supergirl. But yeah, ultimately, I think these movies deserve better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Fandom and like kind of the obsession with the character can feel very insecure sometimes when like something you love people don't like and you want to defend it, and I think you should defend it, but I also think it's okay to want better for the characters you love.
Yeah.
I think that's also
Yeah.
a very important distinction.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The final question I want to ask you before we move on to our Q&A, now that we have Supergirl, which is our second film entry into the DCU, we have Peacemaker, which I think is a part of the DCU. They're working on Lanterns right now, obviously Clayface. But how are we feeling now about the future of DCU now that we have the second entry?
Well, truthfully, I'm feeling a little nervous because the screenwriter for Supergirl is set to do the Wonder Woman movie and the Teen Titans movie that will come out. And that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
But Clayface, I'm really excited for. The trailer for it played before Supergirl, and I was like, man, this looks cool. Like, obviously, they're showing very little right now, but what I'm seeing seems exciting, and I'm excited for that.
Sid, future of DCU?
I agree. I think Clayface looks cool. So we'll see, I guess. Like, I'm open to it being a good movie, but generally I have lost a lot of faith in, I mean, I think it's just when you realize the movies are being produced a certain way, you're like, I think this is maybe a foundational issue that we cannot fix. And I feel like and also I didn't really like Superman either, which I feel like is an important piece of information here.
You weren't a
we
huge
liked
fan.
it more than
So
yeah.
we're like 0 for 2 for me right now. But yeah, maybe Clayface is good. I just think when you get like good people working on movies, the movies will end up being good. And sometimes I just don't understand the decisions that they make. But I also will say, who knows how culpable Ana Nogueira is in this,
Right.
because they just get so mucked with in the editing room and in post-production
True.
and
very
reshoots
true.
and studio influence changes. But she's writing the scripts under the same studio. So
Yeah.
I'm not feeling very good about it.
Yeah. I think
What
it's
about you, Joe?
important to make the distinction as well that like when it comes to these films being bad, it typically it's these films are collaborative always.
Of course.
Yes.
So their success is a collaborative effort. Their failures are also a collaborative effort.
Absolutely.
You know, it's no one person's, you know, they didn't do that one thing wrong and that's why it failed. You know, it's a James Gunn issue, it's an Ana Nogueira issue, it's a Craig Gillespie issue. It's a collaborative failing. So it's not like
Yes.
we're, you know, looking at one person saying this is all your fault.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
the case at all.
But it is all Kevin Feige's fault.
But it is
It
all
is all
Kevin
Feige's
Feige's
fault.
fault. I'll tell you that much.
Beautiful. Yes.
The future of DCU, I'm still staying optimistic. I am excited for Clayface. I want to see more of Millie Alcock. I like Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Man of Tomorrow, which I had heard that because they're calling it Man of Tomorrow, the movie for Superman next year, that's why they didn't call this one Woman of Tomorrow.
Man,
That they-
Supergirl can't have shit, dude.
I know. What the
Like,
hell?
Can't even
apparently-
get the
yeah.
title.
I don't know who made this decision. Probably Gunn, who was like, well, since
Probably.
we're giving this title Man of Tomorrow, we can't give this movie any subtitle at all. Which I think is, again,
Gun gets first dibs.
yeah,
on
you know,
everything.
again, that's another woman-led superhero movie. It's getting kind of like the shit end of the stick. And yeah, I'm like, if I were to put a number on it, a solid 6 out of 10 in terms of a DCU excitement in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
I think in general, it's less of a DC thing and more superheroes.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
era over? Are we past that era of superhero movies being the biggest draw to theaters now?
Oh,
Like,
really?
yes, they are
Oh.
draws still,
Yeah.
but like, are we past that time where they were the only movies people were going to go see in the theaters now?
I think as a wider like cinematic universe like experience where there's multiple things going on, I think it's over. I think the standalone sort of stuff will continue to thrive and that like Superman did well. The new Spider-Man that's coming out soon is going to make bank.
Yeah.
Like that's going to do extremely well.
But that's sort of part of a Connect universe.
In a way, but it is also very publicly saying this is Spider-Man like on a street. Like I don't think it's true, but they're making the argument of like this is him like just
Street
about him.
level,
Yeah, street level Spider-Man. I think those distinctions, the Batmans are doing really well with the Robert Pattinson run right now. Like I think people are interested in individual stories rather than an interconnected universe now.
The time of the cinematic universe is over.
Exactly.
That's a good point to make. What do you
Yeah.
think, Sid?
I agree. I mean, yeah, the landscape has just changed so much. I think it used to be like every single superhero movie was a big deal and everyone was going to see every single one, but things have just gotten, I mean, we're also in, like superhero films post streaming as well. It just looks so completely different. I think like the performance of Doomsday will be a really interesting indicator of whether people are just like over it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also so much history with Marvel that's going to get people out to the theater. But yeah, I don't know if you can count on an interconnected universe getting people to the theaters anymore. Do you agree?
I think you're both completely right in that I think the cinematic universe, that appeal is gone. I think, people are still interested in finding out how this movie affects this movie and how if this character pops up in this movie. That excitement has dwindled over the last 5 to 6 years. Post Endgame, I think that we're now at a point where people care less. Doomsday will be a very interesting indicator
that's a good
of
point.
where people's mindset is at. It also will be a good indicator of like where that franchise is obviously going. if they're going to continue with it. Because I almost feel like Feige is also recognizing the appeal of a cinematic universe is dwindling as well. And like, will Doomsday be their way of like resetting it and saying, okay, we're done with that, you know?
Will it though? Because isn't the next thing after Doomsday Secret Wars, which is just a further
I
extension
don't
of
fucking
that?
know anymore. You're
Yeah.
right, probably.
So it's like,
Who knows? Who knows?
who knows? Who knows?
But like, we are living in an era now where the movies that are bringing people out in droves aren't necessarily part of franchises anymore. Like we're looking at we just got through Back Session Summer,
Yeah.
which was a really exciting moment, and young people are itching for these really exciting stories and original stories from young filmmakers, and that's really important right now. I think that superhero movies will always be important to the ecosystem, and but if you look at the numbers from the last like couple big ones, aside from like, you know, Spider-Man's always going to do well because Spider-Man is Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Superman did well, but Superman I think also didn't do as well as they probably wanted it to do.
I think that's
Fantastic
fair.
Four, Thunderbolts, Brave New World, all movies that did fine. You know, these movies aren't making the money they used to make.
They're
at
not
all.
event films anymore.
No.
But
Like
they
only
want them to be
only
event
some of
films.
them are. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
the weekend numbers for Supergirl came out as we started recording this. Do you guys want to know what they officially are?
Worldwide,
I have domestic and worldwide.
worldwide, 110 million.
Okay.
That
you
seems
want-
high.
Do you want to guess it?
Oh shit, is that too high?
86.
Okay.
What is it? Worldwide?
It's so bad.
Oh
What
no,
is it, like
what is it?
40?
Worldwide right now, it's looking at 68 to 70 million for the weekend, the whole weekend, including like Thursday
That's
preview.
less than Disclosure Day.
Yeah. Domestically, it made about 38 million total.
Wow, that is not a lot of money.
It's
That's really
not good. It's not good at all.
I wonder what Superman. What was that? 2025.
Yeah.
That was last year. Yeah.
Weekend gross.
I mean, that
Superman
movie
opening
made around
weekend,
600 total.
125
Yeah.
at the domestic box office. $220 million
That's
weekend
like
opening.
what,
for Superman.
quadruple what Supergirl's going to take away.
Yeah.
I think they fucked this one up.
Yeah.
Just marketing wise, I think they just totally fumbled it here.
And I feel like the release of it just isn't landing as nicely. Like Toy Story is out right now and is really dominating, and I think there is a crossover between like families going to a Pixar movie versus like a kind of
Yeah.
child-friendly superhero movie. So they're losing out on that. Odyssey's in a couple weeks, so this will like barely have any time on premium
Moana's in a
format.
couple weeks.
Moana's in it. Yeah, like this is just.
Yeah.
I think this has come out at
Minions is next week.
and that's gonna change the world.
Well, you know, Superman is Superman. Like
Yeah.
Supergirl
Yes.
just isn't
Yeah,
as
yeah.
big of a hero as Superman, so I
Yeah.
don't think it was ever.
There was
gonna
never an
perform as
expectation
well.
it does better than Superman.
No,
but-
definitely not. But I think there are different things that could have been done to give it a little more
Yeah.
cushioning and support in its
Well, and
release.
Bad.
You know, people don't like it, which is never like.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's-
think
yeah.
a
And
that's
lot
the
of people
biggest downside.
decided not to.
I
see
truly
it
think
once
word
the
of mouth
reviews came out.
is the most premium right now.
Absolutely.
Without it, you aren't. It's just not gonna. Your movie's not gonna have legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really bummer. There was a mom and two young girls who were in my Supergirl screening, and they were really excited. And I was like, "Oh, this is so cute!" Like, this
See,
is,
and that's what matters at the end of
this
the
is
day.
for
is
them,
like,
and like they're gonna
exactly.
see it and be excited. You know, they're not gonna recognize what we are seeing, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
And that's okay. And they're not even listening to us,
They're
and
not.
that's good.
They're not listening to us. However, they were sitting in there eating their popcorn, and the Verity trailer came on, and I was like, "Oh, you
yeah.
poor little things! They're watching this Verity trailer."
Because it's
Babies.
Verity, PG-13.
It has to be, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
Probably
you're allowed
is.
to show rated
Yeah, I
R
don't think-
trailers before PG-13 movies.
You do like not the red.
I don't
band.
know
I
about
actually
that.
don't know the rule.
I don't. I mean, I know
Let's
like.
see, Verity 2026.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure.
it's rated R.
Oh shit, you can. Okay, well,
I think it's you can't do red band.
you can't do red
trailers.
band for sure.
Yeah,
Of course.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the distinction there.
Okay, fascinating. Well, they saw Verity. I don't know if they're excited or not.
They said, "Wow, I love Anne Hathaway."
I love Anne Hathaway. Anyways, we can move on now.
Okay.
Because we've discussed if the era is over. Is the superhero era over?
I think it will never be fully over. I think.
Yeah, me
Like I
either.
said, I think the true like wide reaching influence of it probably is. Yeah.
Okay. Sid, is it over?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think superhero movies will ever go away. I think we'll be doing this forever. Like, people will just be saying they suck now, but they'll keep making them. They'll keep making money. Every once in a while, one of them will do really well. Then we'll think they'll be good again, and then they won't. But it has changed, and I think it will continue to change. Because, I mean, you run out of stuff eventually.
Eventually.
Well,
In theory.
in theory,
it's just
you
different.
should.
It's
Yeah.
just different, I guess.
I will say it's not over.
Yeah.
I will say also Supergirl isn't the reason why the era is over or
Yeah.
diminishing, by the way.
Yeah.
I think
This
the
has
era
happened a lot
started
of
to
times.
diminish years ago.
That's the thing. It's like, I think there's a tendency to point to this specifically as like, see, this is the indicator that it's all done. And it's like, that. I don't
That's
think
not the
that's
case
that's
at
not
all.
appropriate. I don't think that's fitting.
We've seen 100 movies like Supergirl,
Exactly.
and it's not the reason why the era or genre of superhero films is dying. Or done with.
Absolutely.
But I think that the moment's passed. I think people are ready to move on. I think, like you said, Sid, we will, until we're 90, see these movies come out every year. Every once in a while, there'll be a good one and inspires some hope. And someone will be like, is the MCU back? Is the DCU back? Hey, we might be even saying that in September when Clayface comes out.
Yeah. And
Or
I'm not
next
even
month with Spider-Man.
Or, yeah, exactly.
That's true. And I'm wrong. I mean, every 20 years they do a new Batman or a new Spider-Man or a new Superman. So
I would argue less than every 20
I
years.
would, yeah, far less than,
less
every
than
20
that,
years.
yeah.
Every like 5 years.
So, you know, but I think that the era of everyone being excited for that event is over.
Yeah. I don't know if superhero movies are the water cooler movie
No,
anymore.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is now Love Island.
It is Love Island right now.
Oh, God,
Shout
that's
out
even
Brinity.
bleaker.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that is the new water cooler topic of
Yes.
discussion. Is Love Island? It is not Supergirl or any other Marvel movie or DC movie that comes out.
No.
wow.
We can now move on. If you stayed with us this entire time, well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
We now move to our Q&A section of the pod. Every week on the public side of things, we ask you a question, you answer. Last week, we asked the question, because we talked about Toy Story 5, what is your favorite animated sequel? This week on the pod, for Supergirl, we thought we'd ask, what is your favorite women-led action film? So let us know in the comments on Spotify, on YouTube, and or Instagram stories. I say not and because just one comment only needed. I promise we'll write it down.
And I'm following you and I'm
Claira
tracking
follows
it.
you.
And I
I'm
know when
tracking-
you're answering more than once and I'm deleting one
It's
of
only
them.
one answer. Spotify, YouTube, the better place to leave it because it lives there forever and easier to kind of find. But yeah, your favorite woman-led action movie. There are a lot to choose from. We never answer our own questions.
No.
No, I guess
And
we
I kind of
don't.
love that.
Off the top of no, we should answer our own questions.
But it's hard being on the spot.
But should we answer it next week?
Okay, we'll answer next week.
Okay.
We'll answer with you guys.
Last week, favorite animated sequel. We had a lot of answers. I'm going to look at them right now. There was a winner here. Boring answer.
I knew you were going to be displeased with the results of this.
I am displeased with the results, but you know what? Happy that you guys all feel this way about this one movie. I'm sure you could all guess what the most popular answer was, but ready to read some of these?
Yes.
Yeah?
Clara, start us off today.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Justin said, really loved Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul. Probably my favorite in the series. That's a fun shout.
That is a good shout.
I guess it's a sequel.
What do you mean?
I mean, like it's a
It's
sequel,
in the
but it's not like a.
franchise.
But like, should a sequel continue a story?
It does continue the story of Wallace and Gromit and the silly hijinks they go on.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very
But
fair.
then, if that's the case, it's okay. Are sequels
there
the
is-
second film or not?
No,
we
we said any
Okay, we
sequel,
said,
said
any.
any.
Okay, all
just
right.
as long as it's not the
I
first
don't
one.
agree with that, by the way. I think sequel should always be the second one.
Okay. Well, but
Well,
we've
then what
asked
do you
that
call
already.
the third one?
Yeah, what's the third one?
The threequel.
The
The
threequel.
threequel and the fourquel and the fivequel?
Yeah, exactly.
No, stop. Also, Wallace and Gromit does have coherence. Like they went to the moon in their short, and they talk about the moon and cheese and all that in the other. Like there's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
There's
the
continuity.
fourth.
Feathers McGraw is a recurring villain in
Okay.
the movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if
Yeah.
that's the case, if that's a sequel,
So,
it's
huh.
not the best sequel.
You think it's Curse
Okay.
of the Were Rabbit?
I don't think it's Curse of the Were Rabbit either.
What do you think it is?
Well, since we're counting as the short movies count,
Sure,
then they're all sequels, right? Except after the first one.
sure.
Sure.
So it's whatever the train one is. What's that
the
one called
train
again?
short film?
Yeah, what's the train one called again?
Let me double check.
Oh,
Runaway-
well, because the
Runaway
first one is the
Train.
one with the cheese.
They go to the moon.
So that's a grande out. It's The Wrong Trousers now.
The Wrong Trousers is phenomenal.
The Wrong Trousers is the best Wallace and Gromit sequel.
That is a really good one.
Because the grande out's the very first one. Then it goes Wrong Trousers. Then a Close Shave. Then it's something else in 02. I can't tell what this is. Then the Were Rabbit. And then
Vengeance Most
Foul. So Wrong Trousers best sequel. But you know what? Vengeance Most Foul was very fun.
Yeah, Justin
It
is
was
correct
fun.
in saying it's really lovely. and
Yeah,
good.
Justin, I'm sorry to throw shade at you. You're right.
There
It
is
a
no
lovely-
shade at you, Justin. We love
we
Wallace
love
and
this
Gromit.
answer. I just love
It had a
Wrong Trousers more.
Mission
Okay.
Impossible riff.
It does.
It does. It has a lot of funny riffs.
It's really
Dude, Those
funny.
guys at Aardman are funny guys.
They're great.
All right, go ahead, Sid.
Kaylee Crabtree says, I have to say Across the Spider-Verse because Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of all time. Also, my niece and nephew were excited to watch the new Toy Story, even though they haven't really seen the other ones. Oh, good
that's
answer and
interesting.
good intel.
Oh yeah, I like reading stuff with intel as well
I kept
Yeah.
I kept everything in this time.
because the intel, we always ask for it, and I want to acknowledge some of it. So Low NC says, as a millennial parent to a toddler, I actually think the movie is still targeted at millennials just as parents. I found the struggle Bonnie's parents had to make the choice to get the tablet to be interesting and mirrored in the toy struggle to accept the lily pad, while also knowing it's just kind of how people connect now. The kids in my theater were very engaged, so I don't know what they took from it, but they loved it hard. Still should have ended at 3. Where we read a comment, maybe we'll find it here, about someone saying, my kid loved it, and then when they got home immediately went on their tablet.
Oh, yeah.
I think someone made a joke of like my nephew will love the movie and then go right back to doing what they're already
like
doing.
they'll
Yeah.
see how bad it is, but then eventually just go home and forget about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, if I'm gonna read an actual answer very quickly, Nate said favorite anime sequel has to be Inside Out 2. It's so good.
Nice.
I like that movie.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, it was cute.
It's cute.
Real life panic attack.
Real life panic attack in an
The most
animated
realistic
movie.
panic attack.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Claire.
Brady Knudsen says my real answer is Across the Spider-Verse, but I want to note that I am a Shrek 3 lover.
Oh, Shrek 3 lover.
Brady, I am too.
Okay.
I like Shrek
Interesting.
3.
Is that the with Rumpelstiltskin or no? Is that the
No,
fourth
that's
one?
4. I don't like 4. That's none of my business.
Who's the villain in 3?
3, well, because he goes and finds King Arthur, and the villain is someone.
I haven't seen 3 in a long time.
I don't remember who the villain is in 3,
Okay.
but I like 3.
Sid?
Ryan Linden says it's Neja 2 by a mile. Not popular in the West, but it blew me away. But also Shrek 2.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. Deja 2, cool movie. I like that movie.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Emma Soren said, also coming from Apple Podcasts. Oh, welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Just to comment and answer the question. Best animated sequel is The Lion King 2. I know this sounds sacrilegious, but I think it's better than the first one. Wow, that is sacrilegious. He lives in your circle of life. What does that mean?
He lives I think there was supposed to be a greater sign. Isn't there?
Oh, he lives. There's no greater sign here.
Oh, oops.
He lives is better than in.
Oh, the song.
Oh, he lives in you is better than Circle of Life.
Yes.
Wow.
When I was
Can you
reading
ban
that, I
people
said,
on Spotify?
No,
I'm just fucking with you.
no. Keep answering. We're glad you came over from Apple
Emma, thank you
Podcasts.
for coming over to Apple Podcasts. You can have your opinions. You can have them.
Oh.
Circle of Life? Come on now. That's a all-time great song.
I mean,
we
yeah.
encourage a variety of opinions.
We
You just
want
said
hot
that
What
at
did
the
we
beginning
say
of this
at the beginning
episode.
of the
You
podcast?
were like
You were
waxing
literally-
poetic
It's
about
so
all that
important
shit.
to have diversified
We care deeply
opinions.
about various opinions.
And we care deeply that you voice those opinions and not glaze everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's this one.
Unless it's Lion King,
How
then you can
dare
only glaze
you.
Lion King. No, Emma, you're right. No, you're not right, but you
No,
are-
he said it. He said
You're
it.
allowed
Clip
to have your
that. Clip
Clip
that.
that. Con 4K.
Okay, go ahead. Clara.
Okay. Jez Miller 7 says Paddington 2. I love that little guy. Also, hear me out. The Cat Returns
Paddington 2.
Oh.
because he's animated.
I'll accept it for Paddington.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
And then also The Cat Returns,
The one Ghibli sequel.
the only Ghibli sequel.
It's a fun movie.
It is a fun movie. It's so different. It's fun because it's a sequel, but it's so different.
Vastly different. movie.
Wildly
Oh.
different.
Kind of a sequel. It's also a spinoff if we're talking more, but you know.
Okay, Joe really wants us to really define.
Wow, we're really being pedantic today.
Takes the cat and Whisper of the Heart and makes a movie about the cat. So it's like not really continuing
I
any type
think
of
it's
story.
a sequel. It's not
Sure,
a sequel.
it's fine. I'm not.
It's fine.
I'm not disagreeing at all. Well, I am disagreeing, but I'm like
A little
I'm
bit.
accepting it.
Okay.
Okay.
I still like it.
Okay.
It's
I'm
good.
reading
Carrie
one
Elwes
now.
is the cat. Like, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
All right. Anyways,
Okay.
I'll
Blake
fight every single answer.
Blake Eisen or Blake is on says Don Hertzfeld's World of Tomorrow 3. The whole series will rock your world.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've seen any of the World of Tomorrow.
Oh, they are amazing. They're really good.
At Kyle Pay 21 said, "I'm so glad you gave all you guys gave a shout out to the Zurg is our dad reference because I was cracking up in the theater when it happened. That was a very funny moment in Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, Lovers Club said favorite animated sequel is Across the Spider-Verse. I love Gwen in the first one, and the second one is more of her movie. This was a hard pick, but I'm excited to see everyone's answers. There's some good answers here.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Very
really
good.
fun answers in here. Aussie 2002 says loved The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars as a kid, but now it has to be Across the Spider-Verse. Very
Okay.
fair.
Like
Wait,
the
which was the
evolution
first
there.
one?
Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. The
Oh.
third Brave
I
Little
didn't know
Toaster.
he did that.
He did go there.
He did go there.
Yeah.
Good for
I don't know
him.
why he went there. I forgot why.
I can't remember why he went there either,
He
but it
didn't need
was
to go there.
Must
Bet
have been an
Twister doesn't
accident.
need to do a lot of
he
those
didn't
things.
need to go to any of the places he's
Yeah.
going.
Just doing too
truthfully.
much.
He's doing a little too much.
He's doing the most.
He's doing everything but toasting bread.
Honestly, yeah.
The one thing he should be doing.
Get back to work, maggot. Leaning Tower of Cheesehead says, my favorite animated sequel is The Rescuers Down Under. That movie was so good. And I watched
Wow.
it way more than I ever did the original one. George C. Scott's
too.
character is one of the best animated
Yes.
villains, and his lizard,
Yes.
Joanna, is
Joanna.
one of cinema's best lizards.
There are a lot of great lizards. Maybe there's not a lot of great lizards, but Joanna's a great one.
Joanna is amazing.
I feel like there
love that
are.
movie.
Rango.
Rango.
Rango's a good lizard.
Leo.
Godzilla.
Oh, like snakes. Who's Leo?
From the Adam Sandler
From the
movie.
hit movie Leo.
Oh God.
What about Godzilla?
Godzilla's a lizard.
Pascal
Pascal's
from
good.
Snakes don't
Tangled.
count, Sydney, because that's a snake,
Snake,
not a
yeah.
lizard.
Oh,
They're
I'm
different.
thinking. I was thinking reptile.
Reptile. That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Lizard. Like, is there? Who
Oh, the
are the
lizard
lizards
from-
that kind of like run on their feet? Are they in Zootopia?
Lizard from Hoppers. The lizard.
Lizard.
Oh,
lizard,
yeah.
Lizard. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Also,
Zootopia
yes, Sid, I
2
think there
had
are.
a lot of lizards.
Yeah, they had a lot of reptiles. Yes.
Yeah.
We're struggling really hard here
Our
to find
crocodiles
So
Joanna
it has to be
wins.
Joanna
Yay,
wins.
Joanna.
Okay.
I also watched Down Under more than the first one.
I did too.
Significantly.
It is better.
That's a lot
Joanna's better than Rango.
Yeah.
Rango's pretty cool.
Rango-
Joanna
pretty
is so
cool.
much fun, and she loves eating eggs.
She loves eating eggs.
Ugh.
Okay. Whose turn is it? My turn?
Sid read that.
Oh, okay, so it is my turn. Let's see here. Sugar Plum Larry. It's a tough battle for me between Toy Story 2 and Shrek 2. Audible mention Rescuers Down Under. But Toy Story 2 might win because of its particular emotional resonance and sincerity. But Fryer's fat body totally rivals Pizza Planet. Oh, okay. That's the restaurant from Shrek 2.
Oh.
As iconic fictional fast food restaurants. Also, this could be completely wrong, but in Toy Story 5, there's a scene on the highway that might include the Easter egg for Gato. Remember we asked that
Oh,
question?
we did ask that question.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
There's an
I'm
exit
so locked
sign
in right
that
now.
reads East Milan Road. I'm pretty sure Gato takes place in Venice, but Milan still has an Italy connection, and Northern Italy at that. Who knows?
Good little catch, maybe.
Oh, I like
Thank you,
that.
Sugar Plum
Interesting.
Larry. If anyone
Thank you.
else can posit a better theory, right now the leading theory is the East Milan Road.
I like
That's
that.
cool.
Thank
That's
you,
a
Sugar
good one.
Plum Larry.
Thank you, Sugar Plum Larry. Ronan says, my favorite animated sequel is pretty easily the end of Evangelion. And then in parentheses says, well, sequel to a TV show, which that's fair.
Yeah, we're allowing everything. By the way, at
Stop!
this
We
point.
said anything. And it is a sequel. Ronan says, it's crazy how someone could come up with something so insane but so incredible. Behind all the destruction and despair is a deeply earnest message to keep on living. Amen. I love the end of
Oh,
Evangelion.
that's a good one.
Wow.
Really
Might
good
be
show.
if that counts, that might be my answer.
Oh, yeah. If that counts, yeah.
I think it
Won't be
counts.
my answer.
I think
Toy
it
Story
counts.
2 is still my answer.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
Okay. Let's see. Eliquo says favorite animated sequel has to be Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. Took everything I loved about the first one, the mythology, art style, and mystique, but did it all better. Also receives my niche award for best animated Basset Hound in movie history.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. I wouldn't
I
think
like
there
that
was
answer.
a Basset
I've
Hound
never
in
seen
a Ghost in the Shell movie.
Ghost in the Shell 2. So that's a really. Is there one with Scarlett Johansson that I can watch?
Is there a dubbing with her doing the voice?
That's funny. Eden said, because the pod already knows Toy Story 2 rocks, we do.
We do know that.
I'll say Sing 2. Dare I say better than the first? You can say that.
Ooh.
Miss Crawley's Supremacy. The scene where she's singing Chop Suey before going off roading to find Clay Calloway is one of the funniest kids movie scenes I've seen in a long time. Yeah, every time that the gorilla, Johnny, I think his name is Johnny Bananas. No, is that a real person? Johnny Banana? That is a real person, no?
That's a real person?
I think, do you guys ever watch that show, like Real World?
It's a person or a monkey?
Oh my gosh.
Real World?
Oh my gosh.
Johnny. No, I don't know. There's like a challenge game. The challenge? Johnny Bananas. Yeah, he's a real guy. Johnny Bananas. I'm confusing him with the Sing guy.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, Johnny. I don't know
I'm
much about this
lost.
Johnny Bananas guys. Okay, the point I'm trying to make here is this: the gorilla played by Taron Egerton in Sing 2 sings "Sky Full of Stars" by Coldplay, and it's an excellent scene. Gets me pretty ramped up. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's the point I'm
okay.
trying to make.
Interesting.
Sorry for throwing shade at Johnny Bananas.
No, it was good.
Someone out
What
there
just
will get it.
happened? Clara's turn now.
It is my turn. Let's see.
His name.
TLT Erickson says Cars 2 is the GOAT. Everyone else is wrong.
Oh,
Feel your feelings.
Okay.
feel your feelings. You sure we can't ban people?
No, stop.
Cars 2 is fine. So.
Shane Wilson says, I commented The Last Wish and Monsters U, if that counts, on Instagram, but wanted to add a tidbit about Toy Story 5.
Yay.
I have a year-old son who is incredibly locked in with all the characters of Toy Story. While he's not old enough to understand the point of the movie at all, he absolutely loved it and kept asking where Rex and the aliens were.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he was locked into the movie.
I know, that's awesome.
Really
Wow,
good to
so
hear.
really a year old.
Oh, he was a year old? Damn.
Well, realistically, he's probably like more like a year and a half, but this person is probably just saying
Just
a
a
year.
little tiny baby.
That's crazy.
Start him young. I don't know when
Yeah.
when kids start
Cinephile.
going to the movies.
Neither do I. I don't have any frame of reference for that, to be honest. But hey, if he was locked in, happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that rocks.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yep.
Let's see. Blaze said, I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is great. I remember being a kid watching it in theaters, seeing him catch the cannonball and throw it back. It was like Morpheus saying, he's beginning to believe. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best
A
one.
lot of
Really
those
good one.
answers.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
I like Kung Fu
Interesting.
Panda too. S-Pop is my Webkins username says Incredibles 2 is just as good as the first. And I agree with Joe that Cars 2 is pretty bad.
Yes.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
We're getting the balance.
We're getting balance here.
That variance opinions. There they are.
Salsa by the Sea says Madagascar Escape to Africa is the defining Madagascar movie. I also think it's funny that the penguins totally overshadow the main cast nowadays. I bet people are more likely to know the names of the penguins than the main four characters. That is because the penguins show was really fucking good. And
I'm not one of those people. I know the names of the animals and not the penguins.
Okay.
I think I could name all of them.
Okay, let's hear it.
Melvin, Alex.
Wait, Melvin, can you define who they are? Because I
Melvin
don't know if
is
I know.
the giraffe.
Okay.
Okay.
Alex is the lion.
Yeah.
Marty is the zebra.
Yeah.
And
His name's
Gloria.
Marty?
Yeah.
Yes,
and
and Gloria is the hippo.
Right.
What about the
And-
whale?
The whale.
There's
There's
no
not a whale? It's still-
Where are
No,
you
what the
getting
fuck
a
is the whale
whale?
going to be doing? Walking around?
I thought maybe they rode the whale. What am I thinking of? Something different?
I don't
There's no
know.
whale? Like a dolphin?
No.
There's no like underwater creature?
I don't. Not as
just the
like a main
hippo?
The
character.
penguins.
Or is it, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking about. I don't know what I'm thinking
Maybe
about.
they
then.
have a whale friend. And the Penguins are Skipper, Kowalski, Private, and
Oh, fake fan.
Rico.
Rico.
Yeah. Rico's the crazy one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known those. I knew Melvin and Alex.
Okay.
I didn't know Marty and Gloria.
Didn't you watch the Penguins show, Clara?
No, actually, because that would have been more my sisters were watching it, but they even weren't that
I was
interested
too old
in
for that
it.
show,
I
unfortunately.
watched that show all the fucking time.
Okay.
dude.
Aw,
It was
fun.
really fun.
Fascinating. Madagascar 2. Whose turn is it?
Your turn.
My turn, huh? Will said Toy Story 5 is a perfect film. We cried. I rank it above the original.
Wow.
Then I'd go 3, 2, and... Wait, what? Then I'd go 3, 2, and 4? Mm-hmm. So it goes 5, 1, 3, 2, 4? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Damn.
I'm happy for you, Will.
That's fun.
I really am.
It's different.
It is different, and I'm glad it made you that happy. Just want to say you guys have inspired me to go to the movies to check new releases and make content. Oh,
That's nice.
Oh my god, yay.
that means a lot, Will.
Thank
Well,
you,
now I'm
Will.
even more happy that
Way to
you
go.
loved Toy Story 5.
Hell yeah.
P.S. Joe, I saw the Robot Chicken sketch. Nice.
Yeah.
Which one is that one? Which one?
You brought
I
up.
brought up for ET for
Yeah.
Disclosure Day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm asking again if someone saw it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will, on all fronts.
Yeah.
Good luck on your adventure.
Yeah, good
and
luck.
endeavor for making content.
Yeah,
out
that's
there.
awesome. Let's see. It's just Jen 77 says Lion King 1.5 and an extremely goofy movie. Lion King 1.5. These are great shouts. Lion King 1.5 was so meta, and also the
Is that a
song
sequel?
Dig a Tunnel slaps. Goofy gave us Hot Max, Hot Coffee House Poet, and the epic needle drop that was Shake Your Groove thing. Yeah.
So I don't know if Lion King 1.5 even counts, but sure, we'll count it.
Why doesn't
Why
it
would it
count?
not
It's not
count?
a
Because it's just a
continuation.
retelling of the first one, just from a different perspective.
Yeah, but it's
That's
a sequel.
true. It's a sequel.
okay. Lion King 2 is a sequel. Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes.
That's okay. Wait, 1.5, fine, accept it. Extremely goofy movie, great answer.
Yeah.
Really funny sequel.
Really good answer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I will admit, I had the VHS tapes of like all 3 Lion King movies. We were only watching really Lion King 1 and Lion King 2.
I never got into 1.5
Oh.
when I was a kid
I
either.
don't think I did
yeah, it
either.
wasn't like my fave. Like it was fine, but it was very rare for us to watch. We were watching 2 a lot though.
2 was a big movie.
Yeah,
It was a big movie for a lot of
because
people.
of the Lion Cubs.
The Lion Cubs. It was a Romeo and Juliet spinoff. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Good answer though. I
Very
forgot
good
about
answer.
Extremely Goofy movie.
Yeah, that was a great shout.
Let's see. Silly Fortnite Gamer 2008. Is that when you were born? Says, I'm not sure if this counts, but Chainsaw Man Reze Arc movie. Is it Chainsaw Man the movie?
Yeah, it's Chainsaw Man the movie Reze
Reze
Arc.
Arc.
Reze
Yeah.
Arc, okay. Is so good. I cry every time I see the pool scene or the ending. If that doesn't count, I would then say Angry Birds 2. It's so funny, but not as good as the first.
Angry Birds 2 I thought was better than the first from what I remember, but it's been a while, so
I
maybe
haven't
you're
seen
right.
either of those.
Chainsaw Man is a sequel.
Were the Angry Birds movies good?
The first one I thought was fine. The second one, I think they're both just like fine animated movies for kids
Okay.
that aren't trying to be more than that, unfortunately. But they have some like humor that kids won't get that adults get, and that's always kind of fun to watch.
That is fun.
And yeah, I would say, is an anime movie that's a continuation of the series of sequel.
I feel like kind of, especially because, well, now Chainsaw Man season 2 has been announced, but it wasn't for a really long time, and it seemed like they were never going to do it. So,
It's like saying, is episode 3 a sequel to episode 2 of the anime in the season?
What?
no,
it's
those are
not.
totally different formats.
No, not for a lot of these anime films. They will end up just they'll split the movie up into episodes so people can watch them in
Yeah,
a
like
season.
Demon Slayer does that.
a lot.
Okay, but that's
like-
not what this is.
Well, it's. I mean, I suppose it's a sequel to a. If you count the sequel to a show,
Well,
sure.
I think for this, we said pretty much all is fair for this Q&A.
At this point,
We
yeah,
did.
fuck it. Everything is fair game at this point.
It is.
Disclosure Day is a sequel to Close Encounters.
Stop.
It all counts.
Stop it.
No, that's
You're
not-
being
I'm specifically
ridiculous.
allowing this one though because Chainsaw Man Reze Arc rocks.
It's phenomenal. It's so
It's
good.
fucking awesome. So it rocks. Whose turn is it now? My turn.
I think so.
Oh boy. Gartner says if it counts,
Oh
How many
boy.
times have we? But this one actually does count. So this is funny that they're putting this.
Okay.
I will say Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Oh, okay.
That's a sequel to Puss in
But
Boots.
it's a spin-off of it's a spin-off of it's a sequel of a spin-off.
It's kind of like a legacy sequel.
yeah.
yeah, it's a sequel. You
A
know.
legacy sequel to a
But
spin-off.
like, would you count Puss in Boots as a sequel to Shrek?
No, I guess not.
I guess not.
Oh, but with that one we're not counting it. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, I haven't seen the
I'm
Cat
seeing the
Returns.
distinction
No,
now, I
I don't
suppose.
want you being vindicated right now.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a sequel to Puss in Boots. Great movie.
Yep.
They also said this movie actually blew me away the first time I saw it, but that doesn't count, which it does.
It does.
I will say Kung Fu Panda 2, which I think actually has the scariest villain of all the Kung Fu Panda movies. I agree. The Peacock is great.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, I think, does the voice.
Yeah.
So that's a
Really
it's a
good
fun
work.
one.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like that
Nancy
one.
Gardner.
Okay, let's do this one. This one's really sweet. Sarah says, honestly, one of my best memories to date was seeing How to Train Your Dragon 2 with my father when I was 10 years old. My dad lost his dad when he was pretty young too, so when he cried at the ending of that movie, I remember it first clicking to me that he once was a little boy and saw himself in the story. I cried with him in the theater and I'll never forget that feeling.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah, thank you for sharing that. That's so beautiful.
It's a very touching comment. Thank you.
yeah,
for that.
thank you for
yeah.
sharing that, Sarah. That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
That movie doesn't count. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It obviously counts. It obviously counts. But that was a great answer. Wow.
Wow. Okay, my turn.
Gotta follow
yes.
that one up, Sid.
Here's a good one. Natalia Nava says, I have to admit that I know every line of Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and I love
Oh, is that the second one or is there a different one?
I don't
'Cause
know
I don't
the
remember
order of
anything
Ice
past
Age.
Ice Age 1.
The Dawn of the Dinosaurs, I think, is 3.
Okay.
It might be 3.
I couldn't name the other ones. There's
Me
one called
either.
Continental Drift.
Wait, let me see.
And
Ice
then
I
there's
Age.
just
the
know-
Meltdown. Is that one? The Meltdown? Is
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, Ice Age the Meltdown.
Hang on, I'm pulling it up. Let's see. Okay. I was right. Dawn of the Dinosaurs is number 3.
The second one is?
The Meltdown.
Okay.
And then 4 is Continental Drift.
Oh, I got it right.
5 is Collision Course.
Oh, that's not as fun.
6 is Boiling Point. And that will come out next year.
Oh, okay.
Next year or this year?
It says February 5th, 2027.
Oh, okay. 20.
Okay.
Boiling Point?
Boiling Point.
We had the Meltdown already. You doing it again?
But now it's boiling. It's
But
not just
now it's
melting.
boiling.
Oh.
Yeah, it's getting hotter.
It's a heat wave.
What happened between melting and boiling?
Is it a climate change?
Between
commentary?
wait, like in the movies?
In the movie, so they melted first and then they drifted.
No, so it melts and then they find dinosaurs and then continental drift and then collision course.
What does that mean? Like Pangea?
Continental drift is probably Pangea breaking up, and then collision course probably is just the formation of like mountains over time as the new.
You're assuming this.
What an interesting.
I'm completely assuming this. I
Yeah.
think I've only seen the first 3 of
Yes.
these.
What an interesting idea for
Scientifically,
a
the order
franchise.
we're going in, I'm a little confused by.
Well, I mean that's they threw it out the window when they brought the dinosaurs in the third one.
yeah, I'm gonna say the dinosaurs are before everything, and then they find dinosaurs after the meltdown. Mm-hmm. They should be finding people, no?
Well, the people are in the first one.
There's people in the first one?
Remember the whole thing is they find a baby and they're taking the
Oh
baby
yeah,
back.
the
That's
little
right,
like
that's right, that's right.
caveman baby.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
dinosaurs?
Yeah, they've really been.
What the fuck? How do we do that?
Well, the dinosaur isn't it like the fish dinosaurs, or there were actual dinosaurs?
No, it's like actual
There's like a T-Rex in it, no?
dinosaurs. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
What the hell? How do we do that?
Maybe they do the thing in what was that? Godzilla
Who
X
left this
Kong.
comment, by the way?
Who left
Natalia?
this comment?
Oh, that
You
was
read it,
mine.
Sid?
I read it. Yeah, Natalia Nava.
Okay, Natalia, if you can explain to us
Give us the lore
continuity
breakdown.
and yeah, explain that. I would clarify some questions here.
Yeah, that would be.
I
good.
just know if I had a hear me out cake, it would
Yes.
just be Diego a
We
million
know.
times.
We
We
know.
You think Diego's
We
hot. You told
Well,
us before.
Sorry, but the world needs to be reminded.
That's not even like a proper hear me out though, because it's like he's objectively
we-
designed to
we
be
need
hot.
More abstract ideas. I
Yeah,
think.
give us something.
But
give us
Diego
someone
is
new.
hot. Yes,
Sid.
we agree. Okay, my turn. Christian, where'd it go? Christian said, well, if we are counting prequels as sequels, which at this point we are, I have to say Monsters University because that movie means something to me, man. If prequels don't count, it's Toy Story 2 or Kung Fu Panda 2. By the way, love the pod. Been listening for the past 2 years now since I was 15. Y'all been making
Oh
my
my
summer
gosh.
jobs less boring for 3 years now. Wow.
We found our Gen Alpha.
We
I
found our Gen
know.
Alpha.
There you are.
Christian, thank you
Hi.
so much. We hope your summer jobs have been good. And
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck at them. And
Yeah.
thanks for listening. We
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
listening.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Last round, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
We've been yapping over here.
Solipsist. Is that how you say that word?
I don't. Where are you at?
What is where?
Solipsist.
That sounds
Solid.
right. Sure.
Okay. Solopist Cinema says Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, or Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Good choices.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are fun.
Were-Rabbit's cool.
Oh, you're fine with Batman Beyond, even though that's a sequel to a show?
I didn't say that one was fine. I said
Okay.
Were-Rabbit's cool.
Okay.
Batman Beyond, I would not have accepted that.
Okay.
You know, I'm happy that you love that. I love Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond rocks.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm not the arbiter of truth here. You know, if it's on here, we're reading it.
That's true. That's true.
This isn't. This is just a fun little list. It doesn't have actual consequences. If someone says
This is
Batman
the
Beyond.
definitive list.
This is definitive of the best animated sequels ever.
Let's see. Hayden Day says, "Hey, Stuart Little 3, because it's so uncanny valley looking, and he's a cute little scout." Haha. Or hee hee.
There's a third. There's a third one.
There is a third one. Yeah.
I never saw a third
guess.
one.
Wow.
There is a third
Is it
one.
animated or is it still live action?
I can't.
No
I'm trying to
idea.
remember Stuart Little.
Okay,
3.
I've seen the second and first one. That was it. You know, there's a third one.
Oh, it is. It is fully animated.
Oh my God! Wow.
Fascinating. Is it a recession indicator if Stuart Little comes back? He's been gone for a while. I think
Oh,
if he
I want
comes
him to
back,
Can we get M
back.
Night Shyamalan on it?
Yes.
Ghost writing another one.
Yes. I'd like that.
I would not. I didn't like that guy, and I still don't.
I love that guy. He's so baby.
The fact that he's adopted over a child is so
We
fascinating.
have to just move past that. This is a
Do we,
weird.
though?
This is
It's
a
a
different
movie.
universe. This is a different world.
Suspend
We don't
your
understand the
disbelief.
rules here.
I'm okay. You're right. I'll accept it. I'll move on. I'm getting too riled up about Stuart Little. I
You're
agree.
being a stinker today.
I'm not. I'm just pointing out that Stuart Little is crazy. He's adopted over a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a mouse.
Okay,
Read
your last one.
answer.
I'm trying to find one that's not Toy Story 2 and Shrek 2. There's a lot of Toy Story 2s and Shrek 2s.
There's loads of other options.
A lot of Across the Spider-Verse ones. Here's one. Iria CD, hopefully I said that right, said Mulan 2, Mulan 2, Mulan 2. Oh, and did I say Mulan 2?
Yay.
Fun.
I never saw Mulan 2.
I don't know if I've seen it.
We had this on VHS as well. Or
It
maybe
was a
DVD.
direct-to-VHS sequel.
Yeah, it was a direct too. Yeah.
If you could expand, Iria, on what made that so great, I would love to know, because I have never seen it. I've never seen it. There was one more comment I wanted to read. It was about Disclosure Day.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Jacob L., who was answering my question when I was, we were asking about like how people are having these conversations with people who hate the movie if they liked it. Jacob L. said, in response to your question as how do I feel as Disclosure Day truther, I've had this convo with my coworkers already, and I understand the criticisms of it and why it doesn't work for other people. But that doesn't change the fact that the magic of the movie still pulled me into the film in a way no other Spielberg work has. It's the most engaged I felt in any Spielberg movie, and it's why it's my favorite of his and of the year so far. I get why it's a hot take, but I won't apologize for how it made me feel. As
That's
you
awesome.
should never.
Yeah,
do.
never apologize.
Well said. I'm glad
Very
you're
well said.
sticking to your guns. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard sometimes when you love a movie and everyone's like shitting on it constantly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
it can be
bummer.
tough. So good on you for sticking to it.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's the end. Fun time. Stats. You can guess the number one answer was Shrek 2 with 56 mentions, then Across the Spider-Verse, then Toy Story 2, then Puss in Boots' Last Wish, Toy Story 3, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, and Monsters U. A lot of Monsters U's fans out there.
Yep.
I didn't get it, but I'm gonna rewatch it because I think
Yeah.
I think
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's Gen,
I like it
that's
more.
a Gen Z.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
Right.
it's definitely our Gen Z audience. I think that are especially
fans of it?
attached to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, you might as well.
That is that's the Q&A. Thank you again for answering. Again, you can check out the answers on Spotify and or YouTube. And then next week's question was your favorite women-led action film. Leave the answer in the same places, and that's it. We're done yapping. Next week on the pod, we are talking June recap, going over the movies we watched that we didn't get to talk about too much. And then July, the calendar for our schedule should be up by the time this episode is out. So check that out on Instagram. We usually pin it to the top of our page. Big month. Lots of movies. Odyssey obviously is coming out. We're doing prep for the Odyssey. Couldn't name another movie coming out in July that's not the Odyssey. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Minions.
We're not covering
covering
Minions.
that one.
Movies that we're covering.
That we're covering.
No, because we're doing a mid-year recap, so we're only doing.
We're doing a mid-year recap.
Yeah.
That's going to be an appropriate time for a talk about
Odyssey.
how this first half of the year has gone.
Oh,
Patreon.
and Moana and Evil Dead.
Moana.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Burn.
And Evil Dead Burn.
I'm seeing that on Tuesday.
You are.
Very soon.
Cool.
Let's go.
And Patreon, Odyssey prep. At some point, Claire and I are going to finish Daredevil, the TV show.
We are finishing it before Spider-Man comes out.
That's the goal.
It's going to happen and we can do it.
I'm not making any promises.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really having to talk Joe into watching this.
Boy, is it like pulling teeth for
It
me.
is really boring.
That sucks.
So boring.
But we're going to do it and it's going to be
Hey,
good.
you guys made this decision.
It was fine
Yeah.
until this moment. Like, there's so many episodes of Daredevil.
It's a
and they're
lot.
all
Oh, really?
So long.
And they're long.
And there's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's
Everything
fine.
else we've done is like, oh, here's 8 episodes of 30 minutes or 40 minutes
Yeah.
of a different show. This is just so long. Anyways,
It's tricky. Anyways, also, since the calendar will be out, we can also say we will also be covering Dungeons and Dragons this month
Finally.
on the Patreon.
our roomies on Patreon have been voting. They vote every month on a movie for us to cover. We love when they do this because they usually pick some great movies.
They pick great, really sad movies.
They're
usually.
also really
depressing.
sad.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that we're getting a little bit of a break from
We're
the
having
sadness.
fun this month.
And have a
I'm
good
so
ass
excited
time.
to rewatch it.
I'm
I know,
excited.
same.
And it's kind of relevant, like a big action, adventure,
Yeah.
fantasy movie. It's appropriate.
I think
Yes.
it aligns for
Yeah.
sure.
What were we
that's
talking
the
about? Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Masters of the U.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the pod, a little snapshot of July. Thank you again. Leave a comment, a review, rating on Spotify and Apple. That's it. Next time you hear our voices will be for the June recap. Until next time, have a wonderful day, night, weekend, and we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye, listeners.
Bye bye.